Welcome to Mouthfuls of Madness.
Alright, here we are with episode, technically, it's 8.
Yeah.
I did do a short episode with my kids, so that's like 7.5.
Oh, okay.
But we did record an episode that did not go so well. And
tribute.
so yeah, so that episode was so fucking good,
Yeah,
but we
man.
can't remember it. So this is just a tribute, not actually the real episode.
You gotta believe it.
It was so good. We can't even talk about it. It was so good. But we've been chatting with our Canadian friends, the W Files ladies, and
Does
so
the
I got.
W stand for anything?
I think it's women, like women. I think it's I've never asked them, but like. I always thought it was like X Files, but with girls.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like the W Files. So this episode is inspired by them because I got sucked into this fucking hole of true crime weirdness in Canada.
Oh, okay.
And this is recent. Okay, so this story, like, it's gonna be a fucking long one. So let's
how
just
recent is recent?
like the end of July.
Oh, shit.
Like
okay.
it's still ongoing.
Oh,
This
dang.
like whole thing.
Cool.
So I will be going to my phone. I actually did like a little bit of research, and which is very rare because we try to keep this super casual,
Yeah.
just like dudes talking, and because we're dudes that talk. Yeah, so let's just fucking get into it. So it all starts with a lovely couple.
Ooh, so spooky.
They're Lucas Fowler, who's from Australia. Well, was from Australia.
Expat.
I don't know if he's expat. His dad is still. I think he's just like his girlfriend's from North Carolina. Her name is China Deese. And they would like travel a lot together and like backpacking, and so they were traveling down the like Alaskan highway through Canada.
Okay.
It's just fucking weird. Okay, so let's just give you the broad strokes, and then we'll get into like the fucking details.
All right.
So this couple is traveling. They are first seen by a couple who was also traveling. Broke down on the side of the road. They were the older couple pulled over. Were like, "Hey, you guys okay?" They're like, "No, totally fine. Like the engine's flooded. We're just waiting." They were the older couple was telling them like, "Oh, that they saw them. They were like picnicking. They were like happy and laughing and like just like, oh no problems. Like yeah, it's broke down, but we're just waiting." Like that couple leaves. Meow. Old couple, bye bye. Which, I'll get back to those fucking old people.
Ooh, they did it, didn't they? That's the speculation, anyway.
I got a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
This is the fucking hole, right? So,
Got a whole thing? Oh, okay. Okay.
damn you, Ashley and Shannon, for putting this bug inside my head. I blame you, Canadian cuties, for the power that has come over me to investigate this crime. Because I'm of average intelligence and I don't know what I'm talking about. So that was one sighting of them.
Yeah.
The next sighting is this lady road worker like a highway, like I don't know if she like cleans that, you know, like one of those people that rides in the truck and maybe they help people that break down. Like they called her a road worker.
Okay.
She told the cops, the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, that she saw them on the side of the road, and there was a man in the middle of the highway, like visibly quote unquote frustrated and like could maybe be arguing with them, but she didn't really know because she's like, I got a really bad vibe, I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
So that lady saw them alive and saw this dude kind of possibly yelling at them from the middle of the road while they were on the side of the road by their van. Now, cut to like the next day, it's about the next day, they're found shot like gruesomely in the ditch on the side of the road.
Damn.
So that's Lucas Fowler and China Deese, this young couple. They're like 23 and 24.
Oh, jeez.
Like young kids.
Yeah.
So the cops are called out there. They find, the body, and like pretty much the mother of the woman, China, was basically like, it took them so long. They think it took them so long to find out it was them because of how bad they were like shot up.
Yeah.
And the details are very spotty. Like there's not a lot of like specifics, which I'm guessing.
Want to keep that under wraps until.
But in keeping those details like vague, they make it seem like they're just like
not trying. Oh.
That they're just all over the place with shit. So they identify the body as this couple, and the mom said like, "There's no way we could have like an open casket. Like there's just no way. Like they're fucking." Gruesomely murdered, So then, a day after this, the cops are called to the scene of a burning vehicle. Okay. They get to the vehicle, they're trying to put out the fire, whatever, investigating. As they're investigating this burnt out car, somebody drives by, which is another thing. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Where is this person? They say a motorist drives by and says, "Hey, I think there's a dead body about a mile back."
What?
And then they don't speak of that motorist ever again.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, nobody fucking like, nobody's like, "Hey man, why don't you wait right here while we go investigate this dead body you said you found?" So they go and find this dead body, unidentified older male, beard, just like dead by his car at this like kind of rest stop area, I guess. And they're like, what the fuck? Now, these things are like 290 kilometers, like apart.
Oh, these
incidents. Yeah. So there's three. It's the murdered couple, the burned out car, and then this dead body. Yeah. So the first suspect they have is this dude named, let me go to my notes, because I got notes, it's so professional. So professional. So this couple, they were last seen about 20 kilometers from Laird Hot Springs, which is like a tourist destination. And so the road worker that saw the guy presumably frustratingly arguing with this couple, they got her with a police sketch artist, and so she could draw a sketch of this dude, right? And that profile pic that she helped create looks similar to this person named Derek Weisenand, right? So this dude is 27 and was reportedly wanted for the murder of an elderly man in Texas, and was seen to be crossing the border into Canada several weeks before this couple got murdered. And police were like putting out like, this guy's armed and dangerous, he's probably traveling with a dog and stuff and all this shit. So they're looking for this dude, possibly a suspect, because he's allegedly murdered this old guy in Texas and crossed the border into Canada. Now, this burnt out car, they find to belong to these two teens. These two Canadian teens from, it's called Alberni, or something like that. Their parents said they left to go looking for work. They were like unsatisfied with the jobs. I guess they were like fast food dudes, or they were working at like something, and they quit and wanted to go find work, so they took off like road trip style to go find a job somewhere else. These kids were Cam. I fucking love this kid's name so much. And my wife was like, It sounds like a name you would have fucking made up. And I'm not. So those are the first two questions I have. Is like, A, who was the motorist that said about that dead body?
Yeah.
The old man. 2, why do they never fucking mention him again? 3, they never mention the other couple that saw them when they were happy and fine and all that stuff. Yeah. So the two teens were Cam McLeod, 19, and Briar, wait for it, Schmagelski.
Schmagelski.
Which is like, fucking love that name. Briar Schmagelski. So,
Nice ring.
yeah, right? Like, how could he be a killer, right? Cam McLeod, 19, Briar Schmagelski, 18, were then reported missing, and because of the burnt out car, they found out, oh, it's these two teens.
Yeah.
Nobody's heard from them. You know, once they found out whose car it was and all that stuff, they contacted their parents. The kid Cam's parents were like, oh my god, our son, we love him, I hope he's doing okay, like, he's missing. The fucking kid Briar, Schmagelski's dad, was like, man, that kid, he took his suit and that's the suit he's gonna die in.
Wow.
He's like, he's in a bad place and I know he's just on a way, like, they're not gonna go, like, this is them interviewing him for when they're missing.
Yeah.
And the one dad and the parents are like, oh, we love them, I hope they're okay. And the other dad is like, this kid's fucked up. He took his suit because he wants to die in that suit. And they're not going to go down without a fight.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where is this coming from?
Yeah.
Now, these two kids are the murder suspects
What the fuck?
of the old man
Uh-huh.
and of the young couple.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it just went from that. And it started because these kids were reported missing after the burnout thing, and then somebody saw them in another part of Canada.
Oh.
Like, down the way.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, those are them. And now they're like, oh, well, they're the murderers.
What the? Okay.
Like, this is how the reports, like, going down, like, when
Yeah.
you look it up on the internet.
Jeez.
Like, from all the news feeds, like, that's all the same story.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, da-da-da-da. Okay, well, these guys got killed. Maybe it's this guy, Derek. And then, oh, missing teens? Well, they're the murderers. And I was like,
How do you
how did you fucking bridge that gap,
I don't
dude? You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck is the connection?
Yeah.
Because there's no connection to any of these people.
Uh-huh.
Other than that they were traveling on the same road.
Yeah.
So now these kids are like reportedly on the run because
Well, then I
they
guess
can't find. They're popping up at different spots.
Yeah.
Cops had pulled them over before the murders on like a DUI checkpoint kind of thing.
Yeah.
Looking for, because it was a dry county they were driving through, and they were doing like random alcohol stops.
Okay.
And sorry, this was like soon after the murders. They were stopped, and a cop was like, "Oh, there's nothing in their car. They don't have alcohol." He let them go. Like, I think, hours or a day later, the thing came through like, "These guys are being looked for," and they're like, "Oh fuck, we let them go."
Uh-huh.
But it's still like, who the fuck made the connection? Like, there's, are they just not saying
More?
this thing that ties them
Yeah.
to the, in case somebody's like copycatting?
Well, it is kind of suspect, if you're two teens supposedly out looking for work and you just ditch your car on the side of the road and torch it. It's kind of like, why?
Well, this is my thing, is like, how do they even know they torched it? That's not talked about. They don't talk about, they just said the car was on fire, and then they connected it to these two kids, because that was the car they were driving.
Yeah.
There's no, the other dead guy, the old guy, whose name is Leonard Dick.
Leonard Dick?
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was the old guy that the motorist said, is dead a mile away from this burning car.
Yeah.
That guy was a notable botanist and lecturer, and was like retired and like enjoying his retirement, and was known to like go out on his own on like trips and like camping stuff and shit like that. And his area of expertise was the seaweed that grows off the coast of British Columbia.
Okay.
Like, that was like his thing, seaweed. Like, this seaweed, like, is specifically indigenous to like British Columbia, and that was his thing. So this old dude he was like 65, and now he's dead. And I don't think they said gunshot either. So different mode
Yeah.
of death.
Was it foul play though?
Yeah, like he was murdered.
Oh, okay.
So now these kids, they haven't fully connected the old guy with the kids,
Yeah.
but they've definitely are wanted for the murder of the young couple, Fowler and Deese. And I'm like, okay, so 3 people murdered in like a stretch of 290 miles
Yeah.
of this freeway or highway, whatever it is.
Kilometers.
Yeah, sorry. Kilometers, eh?
Oh, sorry.
I feel if I say it like sultry, it's not as like disrespectful, eh? Sorry.
How
Fuck it, we love Canada. I don't give a shit. So yeah, so now these kids are on the run. The last news about this thing was that they found this like boat, like one of those aluminum fishing boats.
Yeah.
Like broken and up on the side of this river, and so they're like combing the river, look in hopes that these kids took this boat and like got upturned, and so now they're combing the river to see if they find bodies of these 2 kids. The last like news blurb on this, when you Google this stuff, is from July 23rd.
Damn.
There's nothing
Nothing else. Jeez.
and I'm like, I need to know about, I'm fucking Googling this shit like every 15 minutes. Trying to fucking, like, oh my god, have they cut these fucking kids? Like, I need to fucking know what the fuck is going on with this fucking case.
Man.
Because it's like, there's no way they're not all connected.
Yeah.
There's some weird fucking thing.
So they just completely ignored the first guy? The one that looked agitated
Right.
and stuff like that?
There's no mention of him anymore.
'Cause
This
we're
person
the
who's
one-
already a suspected murderer.
Yeah.
Who allegedly killed this old dude. I guess the one thing they say is like, hold on, I won't pause. That's alright. Fuck him. He allegedly killed this old man, and he was like bludgeoned. Like they said, the cause of death was that like he had his head smashed or whatever.
Oh, jeez.
But not really saying like if he like was beaten up or if he hit him with something. But it was head trauma that was the cause of death, not a gunshot, not stabbing, not anything like that. So it's all assumption that this dude from Texas actually murdered that old guy, but like he matched the description of the person that was like had any negative interaction with these people,
Yeah.
you know.
Huh.
So at first I suspected of like the old couple,
Yeah.
right? I'm like
Yeah.
the ones that were like, oh, we saw them and they were so happy. And I'm like, you fucking murdering fucks.
Yeah.
I know it was you, you fucking old people.
Fucking play that age card. Who's gonna suspect the old couple?
Just an old married couple traveling. Because the dude's picture, like, he looks fucking fishy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he looked fucking like,
Evil eyes, shifty
you know.
eyes.
But,
It's just bizarre that they completely ignore that first guy after.
yeah. Just, there's no mention of it at all. So, it leads me to either think that, okay, oh shit, I think there's new stuff. Ooh.
Breaking news.
10 hours ago. Holy shit. So, Canadian authorities search river for teen murder suspects after finding... Here, let's go fucking timeline shit. So, right. What to know about the Canada? What to know about the Canada highway murders of China Deese, Lucas Fowler, and Leonard Dick? I hope I'm saying that right. You know, R.I.P. homie. This is what I don't. Deese 24 and Fowler 23 were shot dead under what can only be described as horrific circumstances. But it's like, yeah, they were fucking shot. Like, it's murder. Like, it's horrific, right? Oh, sorry. You know what the fuck? I forgot. The one of the funny fucking things about this, like, these kids, it's fucking sucks. People got murdered. But when the fucking police, the Royal, this fucking cracks me up. The fucking RCMP, when they were doing the press conference, the first press conference, for some reason, I guess they were using a phone to, like, video it.
Okay.
Like, somebody was videoing it.
Yeah.
The one they put out. but the fucking person videoing had the fucking cat ears filter on the
my
fucking
gosh.
phone. So the lady giving the press conference, this fucking police commander or whatever she is, has these fucking cat ears on her fucking head. Oh my god, I was fucking cracking up. I'm like, oh my god! In like the midst of this like grisly fucking murder thing, they got this fucking lady's like got her fucking cat ears talking about these fucking kids getting shot. Oh shit!
Trying to make light of the situation.
Just fucking being crazy, you know.
Oh man.
So yeah, like after that, it's like it's over how many days? So they were found dead. They did car trouble was July 14th. That's when they broke down. Monday the 15th, they're found dead. Sunday the 18th was when they were officially identified. So they found them on the 15th and couldn't identify them until 3 days later. That's how like fucked up they were. And all they say was like, it's gruesome. They were shot. So I'm thinking like, were they like shot like with a semi-automatic weapon and just like fucking filled with holes, or were they just like blasted in the face repeatedly? Like I don't know. They're not gonna fucking release that shit. That's not gonna come out till somebody leaks. Oh, how apropos. Popo. Ba-doom-tsh. No. So then Friday the 19th. So that was the other thing. Oh, they couldn't find any identification. There was nothing in the thing. And then they found, well, I guess one of the things that helped them identify the body was they found the girl's passport like hidden inside the van. Right? July 19th, which is Friday, the family starts tweeting out stuff. Sadness, my life. Which this girl's brother's name is British. But here's another thing: the Lucas Fowler, his dad is an Australian policeman.
Oh,
right. So his dad's a fucking cop in Australia. And then so the cops were like asking like anybody that's traveling if they had any dash cam stuff, like come forward, all that stuff, so they could find stuff. Then that same time, that's when they find the car that day of McLeod and Schmegelski. So just Sunday the 21st is when the lady comes forward and says she saw this bearded guy arguing with him. And the 22nd is when they confirmed that this couple was shot, and they were working through a number of tips, including interviews with individuals who saw or spoke with the couple, analyzing forensic and digital evidence, along with reviewing hours of CCTV and dashcam video footage. The number and types of specialized services and investigators continues to fluctuate based on investigative needs. So they released the day footage of Fowler. They stopped at a gas station, arriving at 7:30 p.m., and they left the gas station at 7:47. So Monday was when they released that sketch, and it was that Derek fucking dude. Yeah. And then they don't talk of him ever again.
That's still bizarre to me.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. So Monday, they're like, hey, we're investigating, we're looking for this guy's, right? And then Tuesday the 23rd, McLeod and Schmegelski were named suspect in the killings of them.
Like, did those teens have like a history of
that's
acting out
yeah.
or anything like that? Is
So
that
there's-
maybe why they
yeah.
sort of like switched their suspicions, or is it just because they were in the same area?
that's what I'm saying. There's nothing.
There's no correlation.
There wasn't like we found something that connects these. You know what I mean? Like you could feasibly say, like this is why we believe these dudes are connected to it, without giving out like the specific reason. But there's no reason whatsoever. It just goes from missing teens to now missing teens are suspected of murdering 3 people.
And on the run.
And they're on the run. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm trying to say. Oh, yeah. So McLeod, so when the residents were told to stay forward, because they're supposed to be like traveling towards like Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and were reportedly in the Gillum area, which was where that vehicle fire was. The same day that they were named as the suspects, the kid Cam McLeod's father released a written statement calling his son a kind, considerate, caring young man who has always been concerned about other people's feelings. I'm sitting at home worrying about my son.
Yeah.
As we are trapped in our homes due to media people, we try to wrap our heads around what is happening and hope that Cam will come home to us safely so we can all get to the bottom of this story. Now, flip to Schmigelski's father in an emotional interview that he fears his son will be dead soon. He's on a suicide mission. He wants his pain to end. He wants his hurt to end. They're going to go out in a blaze of glory. Trust me on this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like what?
So why is... Because the kid, Schmigelski's father, who says that, says they're going to go out in a blaze of glory. And the other parents are like, our kid's so kind and nice. Which leads me to believe two things. Either these kids are getting fucking framed.
Yeah.
Or the McLeod kid, the nice one, he's the fucking mastermind because
He's a sociopath.
he's a fucking sociopath.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other kid's just a fucking damaged psychopath.
Yeah.
So,
Heaven.
Breyer, Schmigelski's father said he was very introverted and very serious pain, having struggled after his parents divorced when he was 5 in 2005. I mean, these kids are fucking young.
Yeah.
He and his mother moved to Vancouver Island community of Port Alberni, where he met McLeod on elementary school. The pair became inseparable and were quote-unquote good kids. Breyer had problems at home and briefly lived with his dad in Victoria when he was 16 before returning to Port Alberni to live with his grandmother. His influences haven't been good. His influences have been YouTube and video games. Lisa Lucas, a neighbor of Breyer's grandmother, recalled how he used to play with other children in the area, but began losing friends when he showed them pictures of himself wearing a Nazi armband and telling them he imagined playing shooter games in reality. After a while, he started making people feel uncomfortable. But his behavior allegedly only escalated, according to a former schoolmate who had said he threatened her and her friends with violence. He would tell us how he was going to cut our heads off. This is the schoolmate saying this.
Yeah.
After graduating from high school, Breyer worked at a Walmart, but told his father he was disappointed with the job and said he and McLeod were going to travel to Alberta to look for work. Before leaving, Breyer bought a black suit with the money he made at Walmart. Then this is the dad. Now I realize it is his funeral suit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. This is the dad still. Basically, he's going to be dead today or tomorrow. I know that. Rest in peace, Breyer. I love you. I'm sorry all this had to happen. And I'm like, that right there, that end part where he's already like, you're fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, now what's up with his dad?
Yeah.
Why is the dad so fucking sure of this shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's really shifty.
What's this fucking dad do? Now I want to know about his dad, hard. You know what I mean? Because the other parents are like, oh my god, our son, we love him. This guy's like, fuck him, he's dead. Bye, R.I.P., dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love you. He's already given the fucking kid's eulogy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. But then also, I guess, kind of getting into his history, you could see why, I guess, then they'd consider him a suspect. Especially if he's off kilter a little bit.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so how many fucking off kilter and fucking 19-year-olds? For what he's done, okay, the fucking cutting off the heads thing, and I want to play a shooter in real life, red flag.
Yeah.
Okay, but the Nazi armband, whatever. He's a little fucking dark, but that's it. That's all the fucking. You know what I mean? Who hasn't said they wanted to fucking shoot somebody up? Or gee, I wish this was real. I want to go fucking hunt humans. By the way, we got to talk about a movie that's coming up that looks fucking awesome. We got to go circle back to that. There's a movie I fucking trailered that looks fucking sick. But you know what I'm saying? What the fuck? That's not that crazy, right? Because I'll tell you what. This is how I link this in. At the same time I'm watching this story, that Ohio shooter fucking happened.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in the same time frame I'm reading this story, this dude has shot up the shit in Ohio. That kid in Ohio, right? So these kids, his parents say this, the fucking dad's like, he's fucking fucked in the head. He's already dead. Fucking R.I.P. kid, I love you. I would hope your pain is over. 18 years old. This kid. Now, when the Ohio shooter was 18, He got expelled. He got not expelled. He got fucking what do they call that? Suspended. He got suspended from high school because he wrote on a bathroom wall a fucking hit list
Oh, okay.
of all the kids in his school that he wanted to fucking kill.
Yeah.
Right? He then talked to this one girl. I guess she was, I don't know if she was his friend or just an acquaintance, but they were talking and he like opened up to her like, oh yeah, I want to fucking kill people and it scares me, these thoughts, like I'm frightened of thinking them. You know, it scares the shit out of me that I have these thoughts.
Yeah.
And this girl was on the list that he wrote on this wall.
Oh,
this is in high school, right? So this shooting happened, he's 24. So this was back when he was around 17, 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
That girl went to her parents and was like, dude, this is what this fucking kid just told me. Those parents were like, well, let's go to the fucking police. They go to the police, and the police are like, meh.
Really?
They didn't do shit. And when asked now, after the shooting, they're like, oh, we don't really have any, like, recollection of that happening.
Bullshit.
Right? And I'm like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So this kid went from high school to 24, you know,
With his hit
odd
list.
jobs,
Yeah.
doing fucking shit, whatever. And then he fucking snapped
Yeah.
and did it.
Yeah.
And then the only thing fucking people talk about, and this is where it's going to get real fucking divisive, is the fucking gun shit.
Really?
I'm so fucking sick of hearing about the gun shit,
Yeah.
which I'm sure everybody is, and in different ways.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a fucking gun nut. I have a gun. I shoot, like, I haven't shot it forever,
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm in no way like, it's my God-given right, goddammit, to protect my fucking family with firearms. Like, that's not what I'm about. I enjoy weapons of all kinds.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking steak vet. Because when the time comes, I want to use them real well.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But I get it. The gun thing's an easy fucking thing to jump on. And there are problems. I'll give you that.
oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But when you don't fucking do anything about mental health,
Oh, yeah. That, I think, is, like, the major problem with it, you know? They're too focused on guns and shit like that. But I don't think... I think they know it's not about guns, but that's just the way that the media
there's just so
is.
much money wrapped
Yeah.
up in guns
Yeah.
that it has to be
It
about
has
guns.
to be, yeah.
For both sides.
But then they also, the thing too, they're also blaming like fucking video games and shit like that again. Which I thought like was killed back in like the fucking 90s. You know?
No pun intended. Oh, killing puns.
Yeah, it's just, they try to find anything to blame but the fucking like, you know, the actual cause. Or like the giant elephant in the room. It's
Yeah.
like all these guys.
Because I think that
are
you
guilty.
need to talk about that in the same vein
Yeah.
as like firearm safety, like, because this is what makes it so fucked up in my head is that they're always like, oh, it needs to be stricter and stricter and stricter and stricter. Okay, well, if you don't have any background that these people are fucked up to begin with, how does it matter how fucking strict you are? You know what I mean? Like, you need to know that this person is mentally unstable or has a mental deficiency or is suffering from horrible crushing depression or has these thoughts of suicide and mass killing and all this stuff. If there's no record made of that, it doesn't fucking matter how tight
the
the regulations are, because there's going to be no fucking paper trail to be like, yeah, this guy's fucking nuts. Don't give him a gun. The other thing is the people that, like, they're not, half these people haven't even gotten the guns through, like, buying them themselves.
Yeah.
They've stolen them or they fucking taken from family members that are keeping them locked up haphazardly and shit like that.
Well, that's another thing that the whole gun control thing brings up. It's like, even if you make it impossible to get guns for normal people, criminals don't follow that shit.
Yeah.
They're going to get that shit however
They do
can.
it right now.
Huh?
Like, criminals don't go buy guns at
Yeah.
a fucking gun store.
No.
They buy them on this fucking street.
Yeah.
From, like, fucking other bad guys.
It's
Yeah. The problem is these fucked up kids, and I'm a fucked up kid. I was a fucked up kid. This is what I told my wife. Is like, this is what hits home for me, is that I had these fucking thoughts. I still have these thoughts of, like, killing and
Yeah.
being depressed and being in like psychotic, psychopathic, fucking sociopathic, all that shit.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I didn't talk about it. I didn't say anything to anybody. I was just in my own head, super fucked up, right? Like thinking I'm the problem
Yeah.
and that I'm fucking, and I'm like, I'm sure for most of these kids it's the same way.
Yeah.
They got nobody to talk to. They have no, they're just stuck in their own head, where it's not a good place to be when you're like that at all. Because you're only going to, like, give in to yourself.
Yeah. And especially as a teen, like, adults and stuff, they always say, oh, just go talk to talk to a teacher. But as a teen, that's the last person you're going to want
Fuck
to talk
yeah.
to, an adult. Just because of everything that's going on and stuff like that, you don't think that they'd understand.
Yeah.
Or they won't take you seriously. So if you don't have anyone like your age to talk to about it, you're not going to talk about it at all with anyone.
It definitely needs to be, like, supervised in some way,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Because I don't think kids are equipped at all to deal with that shit. Hey, man, it's going to be cool, man.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. Pew, pew. But, so anyways, back to this fucking... That was just my little rant, because it's like... Oh, these kids, this fucking dad spouts off that his kid's a fucking whack job, and now they're like, whoa, he's a murderer! And then they're going to do something about it, but, like, why didn't anybody do it before? Like, the way the dad's talking about his kid, it's like, you fucking knew this for a while, and didn't say shit.
Didn't say anything. Yeah.
And the way he says it, like, it's that last fucking remark.
I love
You know what I mean?
Sorry, it had to happen like this.
Right?
Blah, blah,
That
blah.
last fucking remark of saying that was like, well, that makes you suspect to me.
Yeah.
Of, like, you know what I mean? Like, what
How
did
are
you
you
do to
so
these
sure?
kids? You know what I mean? Like, are they running away from you? Like, what he, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so that's basically, and that's it. The last thing they talk about it was August 5th, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
And then all it is it was not immediately clear. So they searched the water. So they fucking extended to the water as authorities in Canada discovered a damaged boat that some fear the pair tried using to evade capture. They put a dive team in the water to search the river near the Manitoba town of Gillam after officers in a helicopter Friday spotted an aluminum rowboat on the shore. The way they say this stuff is just like, bah, there's a boat. Maybe they took it. Like, that's not making them sound great, And then, so this was Saturday. They had 5 members of an underwater recovery team conduct a quote-unquote thorough underwater search of significant areas of interest, which is about in the Nelson River, which is about 400 miles long and stretches between Lake Winnipeg and Hudson Bay.
Jeez.
And Monday the 5th, which was yesterday, they said it was not immediately clear what, if anything, was found during the search, which by Monday police announced had been completed. They will not be conducting any additional dives, which was tweeted by the Royal Canadian shit, I can't say Canada. The Royal Canadian
You're
Mounted
trying to say
Police.
something else?
Yeah.
That's not appropriate.
They fucking tweeted it. Fuck Canuck. Is Canuck a bad word? I'll text Ash and see if Canuck is a fucking bad word. Then they fucking tweeted it. It wasn't even fucking like poop poop tweet.
Yeah.
Hope our followers I hope this gets retweeted.
Well, that's how a lot of stuff is done nowadays, just through tweeting and shit.
And that's why they had fucking cat ears
Yeah.
on the fucking thing.
The fucking press conference. Oh, man.
Dude, it's just like, and that's it. So now these kids are just like fucking gone. So,
I'm still hung up on why they ignored the first guy.
right? There's no other mention of this dude. This fucking Derek Weisenand.
Yeah.
None.
Why wouldn't they keep him as a suspect?
Why would, I mean, as far as they're concerned, they were still looking for him.
Yeah.
So they could still be, at the time, they were still looking for him.
Yeah.
They never found him. And then it was like, it's the kids. So that right there is where, like, then they're not looking for this dude anymore.
But why?
Exactly.
He's the last person
because
to be
these
seen-
kids are named suspect.
But
I know, it's
he's the
fucked
last one
up.
to be seen
Interacting with this couple.
and not in like a kind way, like as it was described. He was.
And to be fair, it's allegedly this guy.
Oh.
They're saying that the dude looks like the sketch that the girl provided, right? Yeah. So, still.
Yeah.
This person who looks similar to what this person is describing, who's allegedly a murderer already, illegally crossing the border into fucking Canada, is no longer a suspect because these two kids are.
I don't know. I think I'd keep him a suspect.
At least, like, the option open until we find the kids and find out, because that's the missing piece. And like I said before, like, there's a way to put out that information without giving away the actual quote-unquote clue that they found that links these two kids to the murder of these three people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, they could be like, oh, we found shit that clearly connects them. Yeah. And that's it. And then you're like, oh, okay. They found clues.
Yeah.
They're just like, bah, it's these kids. That's all they say.
Like, on what basis do you, like... Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense.
You know, and fuck, dude. It's just so, like... It's hard. It's making me care about something that I don't really care about, but, like... Because honestly, it's like... Why would you just, like... So, just the brutality alone.
Yeah.
That these couple could not be identified because it was so gruesome.
Uh-huh.
Like, these kids just fucking snapped and brutally just destroyed these people. And then, why kill the old man? The old man wasn't, like, as fucked up as the couple was.
Uh-huh.
He was by his car. They didn't, like, kill him to steal his car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't kill him. He was fucking dead.
Just there, yeah.
And they just, I guess he didn't have identification or something, whatever. And then he was identified as this Leonard Dick guy.
And usually with,
or like, Dyke or whatever.
With, like, sociopaths and stuff like that, don't they tend to escalate in their, like, killings and stuff like that?
Well, let's see. So sociopaths are more, this is in my slim knowledge of just looking for myself.
Yeah.
Sociopaths are more emotional. There's a lot of rage.
Okay.
And like envy and all those like driving forces making them tell the lies so that they gather people close to them. Like, they're the ones that like are the life of the party and are gonna lie to you and like manipulate to get what they want, and they're very egotistical and very like rage and like get like fucking snap and all that shit. Whereas psychopaths are more like, I fucked up, I don't really have emotions, and I want to like feign these feelings and things to just go by unnoticed.
Yeah.
It's more of like a coping mechanism of like, I don't want people to fuck with me, and I don't want to be found out that I'm a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like go about the normal ways of life, quote unquote, and just go with the flow and secretly have my fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because psychopaths are the ones that like plan and won't commit crimes without for sure knowing they're not gonna get caught. Yeah. Like all that stuff. They're the ones that are very, very smart, but have very little schooling. So they're learning more on their own and through reading and finding out shit on their own. Like, it's like a very secluded. That's why I feel like I'm in the cusp of those two things, because I have sociopathic tendencies of where I'm super good at lying, very good at playing the role of like, hey guys, what's up, cool man, boo, you know, and like being that. But then there's like the psychopathic side where I'm just like, just fucking leave me alone. I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any feelings towards you at all. I just don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
But let me portray this person. And that's like the fucking crux and that stupid double-edged sword of it all, is that like, in order to be left alone, you have to be more like outgoing. Like, and then you draw people in and you're like, fuck. This is not where I wanted to be. I want to be alone.
Yeah.
So that's why I think like, it's almost like, the weird, fucked up kid, this Schmigelski, is like the sociopath, and the other kid is like psychopath, where he's like, he's such a nice kid. If they did it.
Yeah.
If they did it. It's like a Murder by Numbers kind of fucking Ryan Gosling fucking. I love that movie. That's such a good movie. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
It's a good fucking movie. You should check it out, dude. It's Ryan Gosling and I forget the other kid's name, but he's a good actor. And Sandra Bullock's in it, which you said you've seen all them Sandra Bullock's movies.
I guess I missed it.
Boop boop.
I'm sorry.
Stumped. Motherfucker got stumped. So Gosling and this dude are like Ryan Gosling is the very outgoing, popular, rich kid, and the other guy is like the emo fucking. And throughout the beginning, I can't tell you haven't seen it. I don't want to fucking give it away. But anyways, but it's a really fucking good movie. Sandra Bullock plays like a really like disturbed fucking police officer, like a detective. Like she's got a fucked up past, like abusive husband, like scars, like she's been like brutalized.
Oh shit.
You know, so she's got her demons and these murders happen and she's on the hunt and all this shit. But it's fucking good. So in my head, I created this story of this murder, and it's not formed fully at all. But for some reason, I hooked onto the connection that this old guy, Leonard Dick, is a retired botanist and lecturer, and his thing was seaweed of British Columbia. Like, and I thought, like, that's weird. You know, like, of all the botanical shit, like, to be like, seaweed's my shit, you know? Specifically the British Columbia. I mean, he's Canadian, so I guess, you know, fucking do it, you're near it. So I Googled seaweed in Canada, and one company comes up. One glorious shell of a company that is the crux of my story. Right? Like, this is the fucking cross I'm dying on with this story. So it's called Cascadia.
Cascadia.
Yeah, Cascadia. Oh,
Isn't
no,
there a
that's
band
not
named
it.
Cascadia?
I don't know.
Or is that Cascade? I don't know. Irrelevant to the story.
You don't know? Maybe not.
The plot thickens. Nice.
So much thick plot. Oh, god damn, girl, that plot is thick. Shit, back it up, girl. So, Cascadia Seaweed Corporation, right? Doesn't that sound
Sounds like
ominous, right? Like who the fuck?
Well,
and like, look at this simple goodness from the ocean. Like, it looks very dystopian. Like, and Cascadia Seaweed Corporation. Cascadia Seaweed has a mandate to become right? Isn't that like from God, the mandate? What is that, like the fucking definition of mandate? Cascadia Seaweed has a mandate to become the largest producer of seaweed in the Pacific Northwest. We will do this by partnering with First Nations and coastal communities to seed, grow, harvest, process, and sell products to a market in high demand for sustainable protein. Seaweed grows like a weed. Right, and it's very like, oh my god, look at the families playing with the seaweed, and it's so great, and there's YouTube about seaweed, and seaweed is good for the planet. And then I'm like, this motherfucker was killed over seaweed. The old guy, right?
Yeah.
Cascadia Seaweed, which is like the only fucking seaweed company I've ever heard of, is in Canada, specializing in this specific Canadian seaweed.
Does it say
that this guy?
What's so special about it or anything?
It's just growing off the coast of British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just like a nationalism thing, I guess. Like, our seaweed's the best. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, maybe this motherfucker was murdered for seaweed, and these kids got caught up. Like, what if these kids
got caught up
and saw? So these kids were traveling down the road and hiking because he was a mile away from this burned out car.
Yeah.
Now these kids see this fucking old guy get murdered because he's gotten a hit, right? Because he's known to travel alone. He's retired, but he's probably about to whistleblow the fuck out of some seaweed hijinks, right? The hitman, whoever, follows him to his alone travels where
Yeah.
he's going to go botany and be alone in the wilderness and kills the fuck out of this dude.
Uh-huh.
Right? Different from how the couple is killed.
Yeah.
Right? Now, these kids are like hiking, taking a piss in the bushes, whatever the fuck. See this dude get murdered and fucking bolt.
Uh-huh.
Right? Dude loses them, goes back, finds their car, torches it. Right? Because he's like, I'm going to kill these fucking kids too because I can't leave any witnesses.
Uh-huh.
Right? I don't think the couple has anything to do with it.
Couple is
Right? I think the old guy and the kids are one thing.
And then the couple
And
is another.
that dude who killed the old man, I think he fucking killed the couple. That's why it was so different.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't say it was like professional or whatever, but they did not say it was gruesome.
Yeah.
So I think this unstable murderer, alleged murderer from Texas, allegedly seen arguing with this couple, killed that couple
Yeah.
brutally.
Yeah.
But that these kids, in their search for whatever, fucked up and saw this old guy whistle blowing on some seaweed get murdered.
What could you possibly whistleblow on seaweed, though?
I mean, these people have a mandate to become the world's largest. And now, what if there's some kind of? And he's an expert in the seaweed,
Yeah.
right? So, in being an expert in the seaweed, would they have contacted him, Cascadia, to do some research for them and his knowledge of the seaweed?
Huh.
Would he have found out that there's some kind of weird, like, because they're like, we're going to work with the First Nations, we're going to help seed and grow, and it's going to be so peaceful and loving, and they're like, and he's like, that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
They're really raping the fucking sea
Yeah.
of this weed and doing some fucked up shit
Yeah.
under the guise of seaweed ecology and being all pro-earth and all that shit.
Yeah. Like,
And then they had him fucking offed. And those kids saw it. And now those kids are on the run. And there's some unknown person hunting those kids.
damn.
That's what I think. That's my story.
Oh, no. This is all just so much to take in right now. I'm definitely going to go.
Now,
check.
see why I didn't talk about this at work? Because I'm like,
God.
dude, I cannot fucking go into this. I cannot spend 8 hours working with you talking about this and then after work go podcast about it.
Yeah, man. Oh, because. Oh, jeez.
There's just a lot of fucking
Yeah,
holes.
there's
a lot of fucking holes.
Yeah. I
Like, I've never been so, like, involved in
Well,
knowing something
yeah.
about this shit. Like, usually I'm like, these fucking people die. Like, you should see how many people die. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But this is just so fucking weird. And there's just, like, all these snippets that are said, like, all this shit, and then it's like, no, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then the dad being like, fuck him, he's dead. R.I.P., son, I love you. God, I
Yeah.
hope your pain's over. And it's like, why are you so sure he's dead?
Yeah.
You know
Why
what I
are
mean?
you so okay with it?
yeah.
You know? Huh.
Like, he's so okay with, like, he's been fucked up. Basically, like, my son's been fucked up for so long and is so damaged irreparably at 18
Yeah.
that death is the best option for him. And I'm cool with it. You know, I hope you're in a better place now. Like, you know, it's just like, damn.
I know, that also
He's
kinda
already
makes-
fucking, like, eulogizing this motherfucker.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it also kind of makes him look a bit suspect. Because if his kid
Right.
was, I guess, damaged mentally or whatever, don't you think he would have, like, tried to help him out
Yeah.
and shit like that?
That's, like, the thing, dude. Like, the dad instantly goes to, like, oh, he's fucked.
He's dead, yeah.
He's so dark, he's fucked up.
Yeah.
Whew. They're gonna go out in a blaze of glory. And I'm just like, Jesus, dude, like, you never try to get this motherfucker help?
Fuck.
Like, if you like, you didn't try anything? It wasn't like, you know, there was no lead up to the blaze of glory shit.
Yeah.
It was just straight up like, there it was. This is my fucking, this is
my
my
2 cents
fucking 2 cents. Yeah, there's my fucking 2 cents.
Oh, you want to know?
It
what
wasn't
my
like,
son
I
is?
tried so hard to get him help, and we've been dealing with this for so long, and now it's finally snapped, and now he's finally whatever. It's just like, bah, fuck him.
Yeah. Saw it coming a mile away.
Yeah, I knew that kid was gonna fucking murder people. I told everybody. So fucked up.
But there are a lot of holes in it.
So many holes.
But
It's the
what
Swiss.
if
It's the fucking Swiss cheese of
Yeah.
fucking murder mysteries.
But what if that is the case though? Like it was just two different incidences, but since they happen so close together, or just because of happenstance and whatever.
That's what I'm saying. The couple's murder was 290 kilometers away from the burnt out car.
I'm sorry, but how much is that in miles?
I don't know. I'll Google it. It's like,
like if I
think it's a whole bunch of yards of maple syrup. It's 2,700 poutines.
Oh, okay. That's a lot of poutines.
That's a lot of poutines. 290. Whew.
Okay,
I wish they were up right now so we could fucking be like Googling them in on this fucking. I'm going to ask you all these Canadian questions. 290 kilometers to miles. 180 miles.
Jeez.
180 miles apart. The murdered couple and the burned out car. And then it was a mile from the burned out car to the dead old guy.
Huh. But just because it was on the same highway.
Yeah, and this highway is like long as fuck.
Yeah.
Like it's called the Alaskan Highway because it's fucking Alaska through Canada, and it's just a road through fucking wilderness, basically. Like there ain't shit out there. You know what I mean? Which
But
is
is
a
it
perfect
like
place to fucking murder somebody.
Is it a heavily traveled road or?
I mean, that's what there's. Like it's like a main thoroughfare.
Oh, is it the one that
like,
connects all the different?
I guess
cities and stuff, maybe?
Also like an Alaska highway. Let's fucking Google that. But yeah, like it's just so fuck, dude. It's so crazy.
It's a whole lot, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm gonna think about it. Do my own research.
And that's the thing. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, am I just like I'm only Googling shit? So like, it's not like. Holy shit. It's
That's
fucking
some
long.
heavy shit, though. That is recent.
The Alaska Highway, or the Alaska Canadian Highway, or Alcan Highway, was constructed during World War II to connect the contiguous United States to Alaska across Canada.
Oh, okay.
It begins at the junction with several Canadian highways in Dawson Creek, sweet. Do, 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 do. I don't want to wait for our last. Oh, is that too soon?
I don't think so.
Our lives to be
Dawson
over.
Creek's been off the air for a while.
I bet the lives over murder part. Dawson Creek Bridge runs to Delta Junction, Alaska via Whitehorse, Yukon. When it was completed in 1942, it was about 1,700 miles long.
Jeez.
But in 2012, it was only 1,387 miles long.
Huh.
This is due to the constant reconstruction of the highway, which has rerouted and straightened many sections. The highway opened to the public in 1948. Once legendary for being a rough, challenging drive, the highway is now paved over its entire length. So it's fucking long.
Yeah. And it was built originally just for use by the military.
Pretty much, yeah. So like during World War II, just to connect the United States to Alaska through Canada.
I see.
They don't specifically say like because of the war.
Yeah.
It was during the war
We
they
know.
constructed. Yeah. We know that they were trying to get up to the corner of Alaska to send shit over to Europe. That's another episode. That I'm not going to do any research for. But yeah, there's like nothing really.
Nothing else about it.
Yeah, it's unofficially, popularly but unofficially considered part of the Pan American Highway, which extends south, despite its discontinuity in Panama to Argentina. Damn, that's a long fucking way.
Yeah.
From fucking Alaska to Argentina.
Jeez.
It's a fucking rough trek. The real question is what did that couple buy at the rest stop that's edible? No. Tie it into food, baby.
Yeah, what kind of like road snacks or like
They didn't find any road snacks.
gas station snacks does Canada have?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know of any. I went to Canada once. Sorry, I went to Canada twice.
Oh.
Once we drove across the border. We were in Seattle, and we drove across the border into Vancouver. What is across the border? It was like a major city.
I think Vancouver.
Is it Vancouver? Is Vancouver on that side? Seattle to Vancouver?
I think it's the closest.
I'm trying to see a map. Yeah, so Vancouver. So we went up there specifically to eat at Joppa Dog.
Oh, okay.
Which is it was a famous. They're probably still around. It was a hot dog cart in like downtown Vancouver, in like the business district, and they did like the hot dogs with the Kewpie mayo and the fucking bonito flake and all that stuff. We also went to like the botanical gardens there.
Oh.
I actually bought a pair of large shoes at this fucking shoe store there. I had Canadian shoes for a little bit. But the second time we went to Victoria, Canada, which was like on this
Is that still on the West Coast?
Yeah, so here's Vancouver. This is Victoria right here.
Oh, okay.
In this little inlet
area,
area, like isthmus, whatever the fuck that's called.
Yeah.
Because we were on a cruise. We did an Alaskan cruise. So we went out of Seattle up to Alaska and like saw like the Mendenhall Glacier, and which was pretty fucking sweet. Like seeing a glacier is like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking ice. It was so glorious. It was so cold. I didn't even wear a jacket most of the time. It was so nice. So we did a cruise. We did a lot of shit in Alaska. Saw like a little fucking gold mining town and did all that shit. Just cruised on a cruise ship down the coast. And then one of the stops was, so we went basically out from Seattle and up to Alaska, and then down the coast. And then like one of the last stops was in Victoria, which was like a cool little, we didn't do much. We only had like a day, like not even a whole day. It was just like we got there kind of in the early afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we were leaving, had to get back on the boat by like 8 or some shit like that. Yeah. So we went out and like 8 and walked around Victoria, British Columbia for a little bit, and then it was nice. Yeah. It's a nice little town. There's some cool shops and art and street stuff. And, but I mean, it looks like any other metropolis.
Yeah. Because I only went to Vancouver on a layover on my way to London with my.
Are we gonna fucking call this episode Podcast A?
Podcast A?
I don't know. We're in no way making fun of Canada.
Oh no!
Fucking goddamn it! I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. I can't fucking say Canada. I can't say Canada the first time around. Fuck.
Probably just too much pressure, man.
God damn it!
Pressure.
What the fuck is going on with me?
Yeah, Vancouver. I was only there for like a 10-hour layover. Went to Granville Island. Checked out the market there.
That sounds familiar. No,
it's there was a huge like farmers market, food market kind of thing there, and I got yelled at by somebody who worked there for feeding the seagulls because apparently you're not supposed to do that.
I mean, you're not supposed to do that anywhere.
But
I mean, well, it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Those flying fucking rats. Fuck, dude. The fucking seagulls are the worst. We don't have seagulls out here in Hawaii. There's no seagulls here.
No, there's no seagulls.
So
that's
weird.
why I was like,
why don't they come here?
Huh?
They're a fucking seagull. Like, they can travel long distances.
Yeah, I don't know.
So weird.
Well, that's why I was like flipping my shit. It was the first time seeing a fucking seagull. And I was like, holy shit.
Those things are fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah?
I saw a fucking seagull. I used to live on a boat, right? Which is not fun. I don't recommend it unless you're rich and it's like a fucking giant yacht. But don't ever live on a small sailboat. It's terrible. Especially don't do it if you're fucking 6'6". God damn it. I mean, I wasn't that tall. I was tall, but I was in high school. But I was like 6'4", 6'3". It wasn't pleasant. And everything fucking stinks like mildew. It's fucking terrible. It's the shittiest life. Oh, because boat people are the worst. God
Really?
damn it. Just like fucking. What is that fucking guy's name? What is the fucking hamburger paradise fucking cheeseburger dick face? Fins to the left. Fins to the fucking singer. You know, they make fun of him in fucking that movie, the fucking Broken Lizard movie. The fucking Bill Paxton plays a fucking genius. A genius role for Bill Paxton. Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy fucking
Yes.
Buffett.
All right.
Non-stop Jimmy Buffett. God damn it. The worst. God, fucking Margaritaville. Piece of shit.
You don't like this song?
Fuck. God, I fucking hate Jimmy Buffett. I fucking smacked that guy in his fucking face. Living on a boat. Where was I going with this? God damn it, tangents.
Seagulls being...
Seagulls. Oh yeah, so lived on a boat, had to fucking like walk to go to the shower and like to take a fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like it's the worst. It's like living. It's terrible. Saw a fucking seagull take a pigeon out of the sky, right?
Damn.
Like they're known for being scavengers, but I saw a fucking seagull mid-flight. It was glorious. It was like this winged white fucking rat of death. Just the sun gleaming off its dingy white feathers and its fucking gangrenous yellow brown beak as it collided with this fucking other sky rat in like a puff of feathers and blood. And I was just like, what the fuck? It was so awesome, but at the same time I was like, god damn, these seagulls are fucking terrible. Like, gee, they're fucking ruthless as fuck. But yeah, fuck Jimmy Buffett. But on that note, so all I've known of Jimmy Buffett is terrible music. Old people that live on boats love the fuck out of him. It's like what the Insane Clown Posse is to like white people in the Midwest is like what Jimmy Buffett is to fucking old people that live on boats, right? Man. That's the analogy, right? So that's all I knew of it. It was just like, fuck, nobody I knew my age liked Jimmy Buffett. That was my only frame of reference was fucking old white people that lived on boats. Now cut to me moving across the country from California to Baltimore, Maryland. Well, I lived in Columbia, Maryland first. So Columbia, Maryland. I get there, I'm on my own. My mom was living there at the time. I stayed with her, but other than that, I knew nobody. Nobody. Got a job. Made friends with people I worked with. We went to this college party. As we're going to this college party, all I hear is fucking Jimmy Buffett. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like old white people out here too. Like, god damn it. I mean, he's popular with old white people, right? I get into that fucking college party, and it's the fucking college party that's playing the Jimmy Buffett.
Fucking way.
So there's all these fucking like 18 to 22 year olds just fucking rocking the fuck out. Yes. Doing all the fucking sing along, Lost Shaker Assault shit, like all of it. And I'm sitting there like jaw on the fucking floor, going like, you're fucking kidding me, right?
Yeah, maybe they just want that slice of paradise, you know? That slice of paradise they can only get through Jimmy Buffett, I guess.
The dude I came with was like, we used to just drive around. He was a line cook at the job I worked at. We would hang out all the time, just smoke a lot of weed. He real big into what?
Oh no, just your mic. I think it's on the omnidirectional.
Shit. That's okay. It's still picking up my voice.
Oh, that's good.
But it's probably picking up a lot of what you're saying too. Whatever. It's all one track. We're super professional. God damn it, I keep hitting that button now. Alright, well at least it's on and you have your own mic, so you're still like
I'm still on.
You're not coming in all fucking
on.
Yeah. Oh, his mic is on.
Do you like that?
But the dude I went to that party with was like, all we used to do was like ride around, smoke weed, and listen to fucking Red Man and Method Man. So it was like we were both just like, what the fuck? But he even less than me because he's from that area, so he knew, like, oh yeah, they fucking love Jimmy Buffett. I'm like, you're shitting me, right? Like, they're just fucking real fucking drunk, and somebody threw it on as a fucking lark, and like, because it's one of those, you know, like, if you hear the song, you fucking know it, and I heard it so many times, like, I know all the words. And, but I was like, you're shitting me. Like, there's no way these fucking kids are, they fucking love Jimmy Buffett. And then cut to, while still working at this job, they did this thing called Wine in the Woods, and there was like this amphitheater, and I had to work it, and the fucking headliner is Jimmy fucking Buffett.
Oh, yeah.
I spent 8 fucking hours working this fucking booth.
That's the dream, man.
And 2 of those hours were listening to fucking Jimmy Buffett. I was gonna fucking murder somebody. It was the worst fucking, it was the worst.
Oh, man, I'm so jealous
it was the worst.
right now.
I hate you so much right now. If you actually like Jimmy Buffett, I want to kill you. I'll fucking murder you in your sleep.
Oh, what if our Canadian friends like Jimmy Buffett?
Fuck. That would be so sad. This is a heartfelt plea to Ashley and Shannon. If you do like Jimmy Buffett, please don't ever tell me.
You can tell me, though.
Don't say it, please. No, you can't tell him. God damn it. No, because he'll lord it over me. There'll be a glint in his eye.
I got a secret.
Please, girls, don't like Jimmy Buffett. Oh, God, please.
Oh, man.
Oh, this was a long one that was the longest topic I think we've ever talked about.
Well, it's because it was something completely new to me.
Yeah, and that was great. That's why I wanted it to be like, I didn't want you to like, I wanted to see your face, and I wanted you to like have fresh reaction to like hearing all this shit and seeing like, what the fuck, you know, like, and not have you been like talking about it and being like stale on it like all day. Like, that's why I was like, nope, keeping it a secret.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it bugged me that you wouldn't tell me.
Oh yeah?
But I didn't want to like, it's like whenever you tell me, like, I bet you don't know what movie this song's from. Like with the fucking crow.
Oh yeah.
The fucking song.
That was a good one. Well, that's why I think it's cool. Like, I like doing that because it's like, so when I was younger, I met this dude. I was always hanging out with like older kids. My stepbrother was older than me by a couple years, and he got out of high school, and he had friends. They used to go partying. They started calling it raves. Yeah. So when I was like 16, I got into that scene with him. He was way deeper into it than me. All that shit, I would like just total weekend shit with me. But that's when I started doing drugs and drinking and all that stuff. Well, we'd go to these parties, and they were like legit underground at the time. Because this is like 96, 95, 96.
When it was first like...
When it was like first really coming out, when like... This is where like Steve Aoki and all those fucking dudes like cut their fucking chops like doing these parties. Where like they had like can drives, like you would literally like take cans of food to a checkpoint, donate these cans, because it was all run by hippies. You know what I mean? Like they were all like, it was that like new hippie. You would give them cans of food, and then they would give you a map to like to get to the party, right?
Oh shit.
You had to pay sometimes, but it was super easy to sneak into because they were all literally in like abandoned fucking warehouses, like, or out in the open or whatever. So there wasn't a lot of money exchanging hands back then because of the fact of like it was like super illegal, you know. Like literally like run on generators, and like if the cops fucking came, like everybody fucking ran. Even the promoter, everybody was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here! Like it's illegal." And so that group of friends they were all like in their 20s. I was in my teens, you know, like they're like, you know, like early to mid 20s. I was like 16. So not like crazy older. I wasn't like hanging out with like 40-year-olds or whatever. But so I had friends in high school, but I never hung out with them. I only hung out with the people after school that were these older kids. And one of the dudes really connected. Like, I've always been a big fucking movie watcher, book reader, and all this shit. And like, I always remember the lines. Like, I would watch a movie and I could remember like all the fucking dialogue and shit. And we would have this fucking game of like just spouting out lines from movies and being like, what movie is that from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And doing all that shit and like doing the accents and fucking all that shit. And that's like how me and this dude connected. So it's always been a big part of like my thing. I was like, ooh. And I know it comes off as like, I don't know, like egotistical and like showy to some people. Like it's like, oh, I bet you don't know where this is from. But it's just like something in my fucking brain that like when I hear a song or I hear like a line of fucking dialogue or something like that, I'll be like, oh, what movie is this from? You know what I mean? And it's not me trying to like lord it over you that I know and you don't, but it's like, that's just the thing for me. It was like, oh, this song, what, you know what movie this is from?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. Like, you know? But it's definitely fun stumping you.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm not that good with like correlating songs with movies, and even like with movies with like dialogue and stuff like that. I need to watch it like one or two times for it to like
sink in.
Yeah, sink in.
Yeah.
Or like I'm that way though with reading. I can read something once.
Shit! I fucking goddamn it. Sorry, I was gonna bookmark this person on Twitter that follows us on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I was gonna tell you because her hashtag is like Queen of hashtag King Killer Chronicles.
Oh, nice.
Or whatever, and I was like, "Oh shit! I gotta fucking show Mr. Effervescent because he's gonna be like, what?" And I wanted to tweet out there and be like, "Hey, we follow each other. Like, you should fucking talk to us about fucking." Well, not me, but
Either that, the Gentleman Bastards, if you want.
Is that part of?
Gentleman Bastards is another trilogy that I really love. A lot of good quotes. Like, there's one that really sticks out to me, where the main character says, "Anyone can fart in a sealed room and say that they control the wind." And I don't know why. It just stuck with me.
I am the Windmaster. Feel the power of my flatulence. That's pretty funny though. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, I never got into all the fantasy stuff when I was younger. Like, I was definitely all about like horror.
Yeah.
The most fantasy stuff, I think I told you, it was like the Piers Anthony, Pale Horse and all that shit. I don't even fucking remember
a lot of fantasy,
those.
But I also read a lot of like biographies and stuff like that. Like I'm a
voracious reader.
I'm a huge fan of Pablo Escobar and all of his work. So I've read like
his murder and drug use.
Yeah,
that work. Or is there like a musician artist part of him that I don't know about? I'm such a huge fan of the way you fucking lock that dude's head off, bro. Fuck. The way you run drugs, son, is the shit.
This guy was making so much money at one point of his life that he was just fucking burning it.
I know, right?
He didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
Did you watch that
Narcos?
No, yeah, I figured you watched that. Obviously, you fucking love that. But I was trying to remember that fucking that Tom Cruise movie that came out. It was like The American or something or whatever, where he was the pilot. Was that for Pablo Escobar, or was that a different drug?
I've never seen it. To be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing against him. It's just like, he's gonna run from a bunch of shit. And
you're gonna watch Maverick?
Huh?
You're gonna watch Maverick?
Oh, is that the?
Yeah, another Top Gun that he's in, playing Maverick.
That's right.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. When I thought about starting a podcast, I thought about where would I host it, who would listen to it, and what was the easiest way to get started doing that. And I found out that Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Not that I have like a hard on for that, but I just like, I know he's a fucking nut job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck. Like, his fucking movies are entertaining as fuck to me. Like, I love Mission Impossible shit. Like, the first ones are like stupid, but the other ones, like, and I give it up to that dude because that motherfucker does like all his own stunts. Like, he's like a hard working dude. You know, like,
Absolutely.
I'm just like respect the shit. Like, hey man, that's fucking cool. But like, I mean, I don't give a shit that he's fucking like goes clear or whatever the fuck. Like,
I don't care about like his personal life or anything like that, but just
I mean, not all his movies are gems, obviously,
Yeah.
but like,
I don't know. I've just never been a fan of his. I don't know if it's like something about his face.
did his
Asymmetrical?
asymmetrical?
I think.
Do you know that his middle of
Yeah.
his teeth is like
Yeah,
to
it's
the
like
left of his
right-
nose?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
It's
is.
Xandu, bro. Or whatever the fucking name alien. His skin don't fit right, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think after like Mission Impossible 3 is when I started like, I guess, not really caring much for his movies anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I liked those Ghost Protocol and shit, and
Yeah.
like the other one that came. I don't know if that wasn't the last one, but the other one, like, I just like everyone, like I'm into like, it's not like my favorite genre of like thing, like action movies, but like I grew up with that, like,
Die Hard,
yeah, like fucking. I mean,
Lethal Weapon.
fuck, dude, Lethal Weapon. I just got so erect when he said Lethal Weapon. Oh my god. So hard right now. But you know what I mean? Like, those movies were like, that was the shit. Those were the
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they weren't coming out with, like, that was the fucking genre
Yeah.
of movies back then.
Yeah.
It was like comedies and fucking, Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
and fucking, like, Terminator.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, fuck him. But I don't know. I was like, I wasn't a big fan of Rocky, and like, I didn't like Cobra and
Yeah.
fucking. I really wasn't a Stallone fan. Like, I don't really like. I even now I can't remember like watching shit he was in when I was younger. Like, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot with fucking Estelle Getty, or like, fuck, I can't even think of Stallone movies from back then that I would have watched. I mean, Rambo.
Yeah.
That was okay. Rambo was cool. Which, fuck, they're coming out with another one of those.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't
Another
the
Rambo.
last one called like Final Blood or something?
No, this one is called Final Blood.
Oh, okay.
The last one was called Rambo.
Oh.
And he was in like Thailand or Vietnam or some shit, working as like a boat captain.
Okay.
Like giving, like he was like a guide of some sort. Like that was the whole thing. Like he was helping these people down a river. Or I don't know, whatever. Now he's like on a farm. Like he's like, I was supposed to be out.
But they keep driving back in.
Yeah, like where that's. I was like, that's the Godfather and Rocky all mixed up. Like, what the fuck? You're old as shit, Stallone. Maybe you should stop fucking making these fucking movies.
I don't
They're
know.
all bleeding
I
together.
could do with another Expendables.
I mean, but that's, what I mean? Like, that's in the same vein of, those Tom Cruise movies where you're just like, stupid dudes fucking being actiony.
I think I know what it was. I went from Tom Cruise to Jason Statham. I think that's what it was.
That's a good
Because I
fucking
think,
mix.
Yeah, I think around then, like around Mission Impossible 2, my brother showed me Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Fucking love that movie.
Who is this guy? I like him.
He was literally like that dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he was that fucking dude.
He still
like
is that
he
dude.
no, but I mean like legitimate. Like he was a fucking street
Oh
hustler.
yeah.
Like that's how fucking Guy Ritchie like found him. Like he was doing that shit.
And now he's.
And then they just like, basically like, here, why don't you be this guy?
Yeah.
Like.
Why don't you just play you?
And then he became like action movie fucking titan.
Yeah, I think that's
Which
what it
Hobbs
was.
and Shaw. I'm down for that
Dude,
shit.
I'm
That's gonna be good.
so stoked. It's the Rock and Jason Statham, main characters in the movie. God damn,
They're so good together.
That's like that's my childhood dream come true right there. Because I still think one of the best. I think I've mentioned this before. One of the best moments in cinematic history was when the Rock bottomed him, and I think it was Fast.
Oh, that one.
And the whole camera just like flips with
Oh, yeah.
the glass
That was,
table.
yeah,
and shit
that
like
was fucking sick.
I saw that in theaters. I was just like, What?
Like the camera was attached to one and they fucking flipped them. Yeah, that was fucking weird. But see, that's the thing. It's just that mindless fucking, like, my mind, like, needs that. Like, that's why, like, I don't sleep. I watch movies because it's like I need to fucking, like, not think. You know what I mean? And that's what, like, movies have always done for me, and, like, books and stuff like that. Like, books less. Like, I've always loved books and I've always been a big reader. I've gotten more into audiobooks, like, as I got older. But it's like, it's hard for me to not think when I'm reading. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hold my entire thought process when I'm reading. I fucking start creating, like, I'm too busy visualizing it, and then through those visualizations of the book, trying to see it as a movie, my mind starts like and going off on these fucking whole things, and then I'm like, ugh, I gotta reread the fucking sentence. I gotta reread this fucking, like, I've done it where I've, like, not remembered like 3 or 4 pages because, like, I've
just been
like sucked into my subconscious and not fucking, like, soaking in what I'm actually reading. So that's why movies for me have always been, like, more interesting to me in that aspect, because I'm, like, seeing it and I don't have to imagine. You know what I mean? Like, because it stops, it's like, I'm seeing it, I can just watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, there's the little parts of my brain that are like, I know what's coming next. I know what's coming next because I've seen so many fucking movies. And, like, I can see what's gonna happen, and there's no, and that's why I'm like, fuck it, well, I gotta finish it. Like, I can like, that's why I have, like, a strict, like, 2-minute or 3-minute fucking, like, policy for some movies, because if I can't stand it in those first couple of minutes, I gotta turn it off, because if I don't, I have to keep watching it. And then I'm just like, fuck this movie, I fucking hate it. Like, it's so bad, but I've passed the fucking point of no return. I can't stop watching it. God damn it. You know?
Well, was there ever a movie that, like, you felt like that watching the whole way? That
Oh,
you
yeah, a
couldn't stop
bunch.
at the time? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A bunch where I got lured in, and I was like, fuck! I should have fucking quit back when I said it the first time. But speaking of that brings to me a thought I've always had when I said subconscious. I don't see what your fucking take on this. So, I've always thought that, like, the subconscious and conscious mind, which is not like a new theory or anything. I'm not like, I just came up with this theory. They're like two separate things.
Yeah.
Right? Your subconscious is control of whatever it's in control of, dreams, blah, 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 storing information, whatever. And your conscious mind is dealing with day to day, in the now, all that shit. Now, I believe, and in my experience, I think this is what's happening. Like, everybody's had this, like, not phenomena, but everybody's had the, like, you're driving a known path, you're driving home, you're driving to work, you're driving to the store, and at some point you don't remember how you got a certain amount of feet or blocks. And you're like, wow, I can't recall driving past this points I know. And you're like, holy shit, how did I not crash? Whatever, did I fall asleep? Like, there's no real, like, what do I want to say? Like, there's no quantitative thing to be like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're traveling from point A to point B, and in the middle at some point, you're like, whoa, how did I pass that school? Like, I don't remember seeing it. Now, this is what I think, is because you're thinking of other shit, is that in that moment, you have switched to your subconscious mind.
Okay.
Unknowingly. Like, it's the monotony, almost like a meditative state, like people listening to white noise to calm them and to focus and to bring that change about, to like shift your thinking. That it's the monotony of driving that path that you know so well allows you to kind of zone out and shift, so that you are in your subconscious mind interacting with whatever thoughts are there, and your conscious mind is still aware and driving that route. But because you have shifted to your subconscious mind, you're not remembering driving that portion of the road because you were lost in thought. And in that lost part of being in thought is where you've transferred your consciousness to the other side. So it's like in that moment, I think that's like if you could harness that, and like that's what it's like the unlocking of the brain to like control that, where you could be like, whoa, and almost like you're in a puppet, you know, like because you're so focused on what's going in your subconscious, and the conscious part of you is just going about its day-to-day routine. So that's my musings on that.
Yeah.
What do you think? Has that ever happened to you? Have you
It
ever?
has happened to me, like, a couple times. Where I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go pick up my girlfriend or whatever, and then I'll just like, yeah, like I have to pass the mall on the way there, and then like I'll be like at the stoplight, like maybe a block away from the mall. I'll be like, oh, shit, I'm almost there already.
Yeah.
But I think it is. I think it could be just like, yeah, like you said, that monotony of like, just like muscle memory, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure you've zoned out in the kitchen multiple times cutting stuff, and then before you know it, you're done with it, and you're just like, oh, shit.
How did I not cut off my fingers?
Yeah.
Well, that's
Even
what I'm saying. Like, there's
today
got to be that
happened when I was,
fucking like.
Julienning onions.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was looking down, and then I remember looking up. I still had like maybe 2 or 3 halves left. I was looking up, I started thinking about something, and then I looked down again, and all the onions are cut. I'm like, oh, shit.
Right? Like, imagine being able to like do
Hard as
that at will.
Ah,
Like, what could you be capable of?
but do you think it's?
Could you be
like-
capable of murdering multiple people on an Alaskan highway in Canada?
I don't know. Do you think it would have to be something that you're so familiar with, you're able to just like turn that part off and not realize it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, the harnessing of that would come with finding what can trigger you to do
Yeah.
that. Now, if it's monotony, you'd have to recreate that. Like, could you recreate it? Like, you watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
How she fucking turns on the fuzz,
yeah.
turns on the white noise, and
Yeah.
puts on the fucking the blindfold, and then just like focuses on finding somebody. I think that's like, could we be capable of doing that? Like, what could we be capable of doing with our mind and bodies if
Yeah.
we like?
I definitely
Could control that
probably
fucking-
definitely could, because I don't sleep much, but whenever I do, whenever I'm able to, I more often than not I dream. And then a couple years back, I learned about lucid dreaming when I was in like high school and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Which
I
is a
read
trip.
Huh?
That's a trip.
Oh yeah. So I read about like all these different methods that you can do to like fall into a lucid state and stuff like that. And like if you're able to, in a dream, something that's supposed to be beyond your control, realize you're in a dream and then take control of it, that's your subconscious mind,
Yeah.
you know? So there has to be a way where you could, I'm not sure how you would, maybe the outside stimuli of like just like being around noises and colors and stuff like that. Maybe that's maybe
Yeah.
an effect on it.
Because
or
there
it's
are
starting
like those goggles, like those lucid dream goggles.
to- oh, like the fucking
You're supposed to like,
ping pong ball looking thing.
yeah, and it like shines like
Yeah.
red light or it flashes, and it's supposed to trigger that you're like it like makes you go into a dream state, but
Yeah.
you're still conscious or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, what would be the application of beyond like internal VR?
Uh-huh.
Basically, is what it would be. Like, how could you make that to where you're interacting with someone else, or like projecting your mind to where
Like ESP.
somebody else is, or like, you know, like the mind view where
Yeah.
like that's the thing of like that was what they're doing with that fucking MK Ultra shit was
Yeah.
like, here's this picture of this dude in Russia, and you could like woo, and see what they're doing
Yeah.
in Russia from US. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get from lucid dreaming, which is basically you're just controlling your dream, to like making your mind like free enough to like fly across. You know what I mean?
Like astral,
yeah, like all that shit. Like, because I mean, lucid dreaming, like, while it's like, fuck, that's sick, dude, because you can do whatever you want in your dreams.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's it. It's just your dreams.
Yeah.
What does it take to make it like you interact with somebody or like control somebody? Like, is that become a supernatural thing? Like, or is it just the energy of your mind releasing, and then in that release you're in control of it? Like, your subconscious is like an electrical cloud that could lift out of your body and travel and then implant into somebody else's mind, and you control that person. That's what I'm curious about. Like, what would be like the science of that, I guess? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I'd probably say like some sort of trauma maybe would be able to trigger it, or
Yeah.
maybe give you the ability to trigger it and control it. I'm not sure what, but like, honestly, for how many people there are in the world, if no one's been able to do that yet, like,
somebody has to.
yeah,
I mean, it can't all be. So, like, I'm a very, like, I need to see it to believe it type of person.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't, like, whatever.
yeah,
You believe in ghosts, that's cool.
uh-huh.
I've never seen a ghost. Or if I have, I don't know it's a ghost or
Yeah.
whatever. You know, I've never been affected. I've never been affected, like, supernaturally by anything, or visited by a ghost, or felt a presence or anything like that. So I'm not going to be like, you're fucking wrong.
Uh-huh.
I just haven't seen it yet, so I'm not, like, putting my faith that it's
Yeah.
out there. They could be out there. Just like space and other people living out there, like
Yeah.
other creatures or
Aliens.
other planets. Yeah, aliens, like,
Star Wars
it'd
was
be a
issue.
fucking, like, you know, like that movie Contact, her dad, you know, I don't know if there is or not, but it'd be a
Yeah.
fucking waste if it wasn't, you know, like, it was true. Like, if it's truly out there, like,
Yeah.
what a fucking waste if there's nothing else.
Well, speaking of aliens,
Yes.
starting of Area 51.
Dude, I wrote that down as like one of the topics
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking talk about, just as like a news blurb, you know, like just like, oh, I heard about this today. Dude, they got so many people to like Facebook follow it, but I mean, I don't know how. When it was supposed to be like what, September or some shit,
September or something.
They're
The whole
supposed
thing
to like,
started as a joke. You know?
yeah, like the dude even said, he's like, dude, I was just fucking
just
around, and then like
joking.
130,000 people were like, I'm in.
Yeah. But
But it's like, what do they think is gonna happen?
yeah. Honestly, I think that like if anyone does try to do it, they're gonna fucking get killed.
Because I mean, it's a fucking military installation.
It's a
Even
military
if there's no, even if it wasn't Area 51,
Yeah.
and there was nothing behind it, it's like, hey, you guys, let's form Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
Let's fucking storm it. You're like, but they got guns and stuff
Yeah.
and tanks. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah.
If like you en masse, fucking like cascade avalanche rush this fucking military installation. Yeah, you know what I'm
Shit like that.
Somebody's getting fucking shot.
Yeah, absolutely. But then,
And then they're gonna fucking hide your body in Area 51 and nobody's gonna hear about it.
but then, you know, the whole speculation of Area 51 is that there's like aliens inside and stuff like that. But it's like, would you really want to talk to the aliens in there? I mean, wouldn't you think they're the dumb ones because they got caught?
Well, I would think they'd just be the dead ones.
Ah,
Because that's the whole thing, right? Is like, it's the crash.
yeah,
Because we went to, we did a road trip through Arizona into Roswell, into New Mexico. And we went to Roswell, the town of Roswell, which that's not even where anything happened. It
Yeah.
was like some fucking farm like 15, 20 miles outside of town, which you could go look at and it's just a fucking empty field. But we went to like the alien museum they had in town, and it's a pretty fucking sad town.
yeah.
You know, like
Well,
it's
their
just
whole thing is built around.
yeah. I tell you what, though, they have amazing fucking custard place out there. It was fucking
Yeah.
delicious.
Would you say it's out of this world?
It's fucking out of this world, man. Fuck yeah, it is. That custard's out of this world. I don't know. That should have been the tagline. I don't know why they fucking missed that shit. But yeah, it was pretty sad. The fucking museum was pretty sad. You know, alien shit all over the town. You know, they're fucking milking it for all it's worth. But White Sands is fucking amazing.
That's that national park.
Yeah, that shit is fucking so dope.
Yeah.
Like, we just walked around there. We had our fucking dog with us and our fucking firstborn. She was just a little baby. And, dude, that shit's amazing, dude. It's fucking crazy. And, like, some of the shapes that are out there, because, like, it's just sand. It's just pure fucking white sand.
Yeah.
Like, just clean. And over time and wind and water, it's been like compacted in spots, and then wind and water eroded. So there's like these little formations of just like really tightly compacted sand that you could like break off, and then it just crumbles into fucking sand. But it's like, it's so delicate, and so, but it's like so beautiful and intricate, and like, and I don't know what the statute of limitation is, but I totally fucking stole some. I know that's illegal, but
Oh, really?
oh, I took a piece.
To take some of the sand?
Yeah, because it's a national park.
Oh, okay.
But it was bad because I took a piece and then I put it in a little fucking glass vial, and then
Yeah,
I don't know where it is, so you can't prove it. And this is all allegedly.
Yeah,
I allegedly did this.
allegedly.
But yeah, it's fucking dope. And there's like definitely like, I wouldn't say like, oh man, I felt like connected with the earth, dude. But there's like that feeling you get when you're like in the presence of something like large, or something, you know what I mean? It's just like, holy shit, like this is bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like that feeling, and not like,
Makes you feel small.
I saw God. Like, it's just, you know, it's just fucking amazing. Like that natural shit. Like I love natural beauty, and I love like man-made trash horror beauty. You know, like of like
Urban hell.
yeah, like
that.
urban decay and like
Yeah.
fucking crumbling houses. Like I like the Detroit. Like I love that kind of shit. I love like nature crumbling something and taking it over. Like that kind of shit. Like abandoned houses with like vines and
Yeah.
trees growing through it. I'm like, fuck you. We're, you know, like I was talking to fucking Ash about this. That like I always root for the villain. Like I always root for the fucking quote unquote bad guy. And in some cases it's like those movies where like Earth is the bad guy. You know what I mean? Like in fucking what's his name?
Happening.
Like The Happening. Yeah, like just like that. I was like, kill them all. Kill them all. Make them fucking kill each other until
back
there's
your
no
planet.
fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with like, I love Earth, fuck yeah Earth, get him Earth. It's just like, they're the bad guy. So I was like, dude, do it. Like, get him all. That movie was fucking brutal as fuck. It was so good. But that's what I like about that stuff, is because like that's the fucking reality of like the world we live in. Like it's just all around us, and nobody like I can't, like I don't like the happy ending because it doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just made so that you don't see the brutality around you. You know, and so like I like the mirroring of the brutality in comics and movies and fiction and history. You know what I mean? Like that's like what makes that stuff interesting to me, is just like, look how fucked up this is. You know what I mean? Like, and how beautifully fucked up it is. You know, like it just, you know, I'm just it's a fucking, it's beautiful, you know.
Yeah. Going back to the White Sands.
Yeah, White Sands, New Mexico.
My girlfriend would not shut up about that.
Did she go, or she just wants to go, or
she's gone multiple times, and you know that's always on like, we need to go here. She wants to plan like a cross country trip type of thing.
Oh yeah, it's
She
fucking.
said, like,
that's what I miss about living in the mainland.
Yeah, just being able to drive.
Fuck yeah, we do that so much, dude.
Yeah.
Like so many of our trips were just that of like, let's drive up to fucking San Francisco. Let's go to fucking Vegas. Like, let's take a road trip through fucking Arizona and New Mexico and fucking loop back around. And like, it was so fucking, like, it's so good.
Yeah, because I'm like that too. I love natural beauty, and I've never seen the Grand Canyon. Never been to Yosemite.
Oh, and Yosemite's cool.
Yeah.
I went there when I was a kid.
Huh?
I went there when I was a kid. We went from road trip. We traveled from Northern Cali to Los Angeles in like a camper, like a trailer camper. And we stayed in Yosemite and like hiked up the back of the Matterhorn. No, that's in Disneyland.
What was I thinking?
And Europe.
God damn it. Well, I did my research. Wait, isn't it called like the horn?
It's called Half Dome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Half Dome. That's like the Matterhorn. The fucking this abominable snowman's up there. But yeah, that's Disneyland. But yeah, so like look at this shit. Like this is like what I'm talking about. I'm now showing him pictures of White Sands, New Mexico.
Nice.
Like it's just fucking like, you know what I mean? And that's what it fucking looks like, dude. No, but I mean like
that is a wide expanse.
dude, it's fucking like when you stand like this person's doing in this super Instagrammable photo, when you're standing on these fucking dunes and that's all you see is just sea of dunes of fucking whiteness that are like blinding, like that snow blinding, you know, like that. It's just, it's fucking, it's crazy, dude. Like it's fucking nuts.
I remember having a moment like that. First time, well, not first time, but first time, I guess, driving long distance on the mainland. You're going from Portland to Eugene?
Oregon?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah, Portland and...
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I know there's a Portland.
Eugene Levy? No.
Yeah, I remember we had to cross like just this long ass stretch of just farmland and plains and stuff like that. And I remember we stopped at a gas station and I just went across the street. And it was the first time in my life I was not able to see a mountain. And that was like, that fucked me up a little bit.
Like the plains.
Especially like living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You turn.
You gotta look, everywhere there's
Look to
fucking
the left,
land.
there's a mountain. Look to the right, there's a mountain. Look behind you, it's the ocean. But it was the first time I'd ever been like in the middle of a flat area where I couldn't see a mountain.
Yeah.
Or the ocean.
It's a trip.
And I was just like,
I felt that way when we did our first cruise. We went from Barcelona to Italy. Mm-hmm. Stopped in like Nice, like the south of France, and did that kind of thing. But there's always a day of like ocean travel and going out on the balcony of the room or being on the top deck of the boat or whatever, and just like being in the middle of an ocean where you can't see anything.
yeah,
Like no land, nothing.
it's a fucking trip, right?
You're just like, holy shit. Like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's why I want to swim with like the sharks, and I want to swim with like a fucking like the whale sharks, and like see that kind of stuff. Like I've been kind of close to a whale. I swam with a dolphin once, which were like, it's big, but it's not like, it's not that much bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like it's a dolphin. It was fucking cool as shit swimming with a dolphin. But like there's something bigger than you.
Yeah.
Like I think everybody, as like being the quote unquote top of the food chain, like something that could fucking destroy you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just being near that of like,
You're so big.
and it doesn't like scare me.
Uh-huh.
Like it's just like I want to feel that, because it's like something I don't feel. Like I don't feel a lot of stuff.
It's awesome in the in the literal definition of the term. You know.
Not just tubular.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Inspiring awe. It's some awe. Not all of the awe. It's some awe. It's awe-ish.
But yeah, I definitely. So you've never like swam with sharks or anything like that, or like seen a shark in the wild and stuff?
No. I've seen like a shark in like an aquarium. Like, yeah, but I've never swam with a shark. The wildest we got was like we swam with that dolphin. It was crazy.
It's a really.
I want to do it here. It's so prevalent.
Yeah.
I want to take my oldest, but my wife is like, she's too young. She
All
can't
the
go.
shark cages and stuff.
Yeah, like to do one of those fucking
Yeah.
shark dives, and
Those are pretty
she's like, I would be so scared. She's like, but I would go with you, which like made me like, oh, that's my fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's my fucking blood right there. That's my blood, I say. That's what I fucking, she got my fucking back, I say. Like, she's scared, but she'll be there for a homie, you know what I mean? It's fucking bravery, I say.
Yeah, shark dives are fun, like in the shark cage.
So you've done it?
I took a really good friend of mine. She had always wanted to do that, but I don't know, for one reason or another, was never able to. So me and a bunch of friends, like one year for her birthday, decided to like, hey, let's surprise her with a fucking shark dive
That's cool.
and stuff like that. It was super dope.
Now, are they expensive? Because I always see it, like, the only time I've ever seen them is like when you're walking in Waikiki and they're like $99 shark cage dive.
We had a Groupon for it. I think it came out to around $80 a person.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Fucking swim with a shark? Well, you're not technically like
Yeah, but
free swimming with a
Yeah.
fucking shark, but
aside from that, growing up on Big Island, it actually happened quite a few times because I would go diving a lot.
yeah.
And since it's like there's so few people on Big Island,
It's very
sharks are
prevalent to like them
everywhere.
being there.
Huh?
They're like there because
Yeah.
it's like nobody out there.
Yeah. And I remember the first time it happened, I was probably like maybe 13, down maybe 15 feet with a buddy of mine, just spearfishing and stuff like that. And then I'm looking at him, and he points behind me and stuff like that. So I turn around, and there's just this shark that just swims
Fuck yeah.
right over us. And I'm like, I
Just
always
cruising.
thought like the first time I see a shark like in the wild,
You'd shit
nothing there to
yourself.
protect me, I freaked out.
Yeah.
But it was like seeing them in their element when they're just swimming along and stuff like that. There's something just really eerily calming
Yeah.
about it.
It's also like, it's like where you're at too.
Yeah.
Like being in the, like, there's no real sound.
Yeah.
And just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This
This
fucking
could totally
thing.
kill
like,
me if it wanted to.
this thing could snap and fuck me
Yeah.
up real hard.
But yeah, all the times I've ran into sharks while spearfishing, I've never ran into trouble with them. Every now and then, like, I'll have to, like, maybe let loose a fish that I caught because they're probably attracted to
Yeah. That could
fish,
probably be like the only danger.
which,
They,
like, is totally understandable.
you get like fucking collateral damage when
Yeah.
they're trying to fucking.
Because
Yeah.
all these, like, surfers and stuff that get bit, they get bit out of confusion from
Yeah.
the shark. They think they're, like, fucking turtles or something else that they can eat. But that's why, like, a lot of times it's just, like, a
I
single
mean, you
bite.
fucking got that nictating membrane, man. You
Yeah.
like you're going to bite and your eyes closed. What are you
Yeah.
gonna do, man?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You smell like food. What am I gonna
Yeah.
do?
Like, a lot of people think, oh, sharks are, like, dangerous. It's like, yeah, they're dangerous, but they're not out for humans.
Yeah, I've always loved the ocean. Like when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
wanted to be like an oceanographer
Uh-huh.
and shit. And like I had a fleeting dream of like going to Hilo because at the time when I was a kid, that was like the spot to go be like to go to the school like the
Marine
university
biology and
to go to
shit.
UH. Yeah, to go to UH Hilo for marine
Yeah.
biology. And I had books on sharks, and I fucking love sharks because they're just
Yeah.
like the perfect fucking killing machine. Like they're just the only thing they evolved was they got smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they were so fucking perfect that the way they evolved was to decrease in size because they're like, you're too efficient at this. You can't kill everything in the ocean, you know what I mean? But they still can. You know what I mean? There's still fucking carcasses of whales being found with like giant fucking chunks taken out of them and shit like that.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know all the species.
Ooh, megalodons. Oh, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
I love me some megalodons. I don't know where it is, but I have fucking like a megalodon tooth.
Oh.
Where like, if you go to like North Carolina and like those states, like in that section, like they're so prevalent, like that you could go out and like looking for shells style, find like teeth.
What?
Yeah, of like
Damn.
fucking megalodon teeth.
That's nuts.
And I'm telling you, like the one I had was small.
Yeah.
And I got one for my friend. I bought them at the same time. I got them off eBay. But like they're super cheap unless they're like real fucking big.
Yeah.
They're like pretty cheap. And but the one I got him was about the size of my cell phone.
That's still pretty big.
It's fucking big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you think, I mean, I'm talking about a new iPhone for reference for you audio listeners.
The iPhone 10 or whatever.
Yeah, the iPhone XR. Oh shit, son, that's sexy. Oh, we're going Roman numerals on this bitch. So it's a big fucking tooth.
Yeah.
And like to think of like, you know how sharks have like fucking double
Layers.
rows and
Yeah,
there are multiple like thousands of fucking teeth in the mouth. They're like the mouth size to have that many of those size teeth in your mouth
Jesus Christ.
is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And there's been pictures of like they found jaws, not the shark, but like the mandibles
Yeah.
of a shark, where like dudes are standing in them. You know, they're probably like, you know, they're in the average height, like 5'7"
Yeah.
range, but they're like
But still.
standing
Yeah.
fucking Vitruvian man style,
Uh-huh.
like arms up, holding the top jaw, standing on the bottom jaw, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like these things existed. You know what I mean? I mean,
could
not according to
potentially
Christian
still
science,
exist.
but according to real science, they existed.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're still finding that stuff, and like, we know more about space
Yeah.
at this point in our existence than we know about the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, there's still unexplored, like, the fucking Marianas Trench and
Marianas
fucking, like, all that shit, like, and so it's super fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy, like, there could be fucking some unknown shit still
Yeah.
living down there.
The Leviathan.
Oh, yeah. But did you ever read those books? Fucking Meg? They're pretty good. It's, like, loosely based on science, but it's, like, these divers, you know, this research team, like, goes down in the ocean and, like, breaks through.
Uh-huh.
And there's, like, an ocean underneath the ocean kind of thing. Almost like the same vibe of, like, Piranha, where it's, like, lived in this ecosystem
Yeah,
of its
yeah,
own, and then somehow it got ruptured and they got
Yeah,
loose into
yeah.
the fucking into our ecosystem, like that same thing where this like Meg has been like unearthed, and then in subsequent stories, I think there's like 3 or 4 books, like of the same author, and it's like a, you know, a trilogy or a
Yeah.
fucking quadrilogy, quadrophenia. No, I don't know.
Isn't it just called a saga after 3?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm sitting here fumbling with quads. I don't fucking know. But like they eventually like in like the second book, it's like in a fucking like in a Sea World.
Uh-huh.
Like this fucking megalodon.
Yeah.
It's like in captivity and shit, and they're doing shows, and it escapes, and then
Isn't that the plot line of like Jaws 3?
yes. But that shark was a maniac.
Oh, okay.
That was a psychopathic
Oh,
shark.
okay.
He was just a regular big shark.
Oh,
He wasn't a megalodon. It's different. But then it comes like, you know, this is like the little one.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a fucking bigger one. Like it was like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
whoa, shit. And I think, I'm not sure, but you would like it. There's a fucking Jason Statham movie called Meg.
The Meg. Oh, I fucking love that.
Which I
shit.
think is...
Oh, is it based on
might
that?
be...
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think it's based on that book, but it might be like, hey, I read this book, I'll make a
Yeah.
movie about it. Like, it's kind of that same thing of, like... Especially when I watched it and they're like, it was the little one, and then
Yeah.
there was a bigger one, you know? And
Yeah.
it's like... But can you imagine that fucking thing existing right now? Like, the only thing I think of that makes it, like, not... Like, it's not around is, like, food supply. Like,
Yeah.
something that fucking big
Oh, yeah, they need to eat a lot.
would have to be eating so much fucking food because its fucking metabolism would be nuts. I mean, sharks like that, they're constantly fucking moving.
Yeah.
They're moving and eating and sleeping while moving and eating. You know, like that's all they do.
That's all they do.
And it's something that's like multiple school buses long. Like, you know what I mean? Like that fucking thing's got to
Yeah.
be slaughtering shit. Like talking about eating whales in like
Yeah.
2 bites kind of big. Like fucking like you would notice this shit.
Uh-huh.
At some point, it would have to be like, hey,
Look at me. Yeah. But
I like the ocean.
yeah.
I like all the weird shit in the ocean. Like all that deep stuff. It's so fascinating.
Like the blobfish?
That thing's gross. But
Have
yeah.
you seen what
Yeah.
it looks like?
Out of water?
No, where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That shit looks dope.
It's still gross.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
It's kind of cute.
it looks like fucking, what is that, Jimmy Durante? Like fucking,
Cha-cha-cha-cha. Dude, my grandpa's a huge fan of Jimmy Durante. Huh?
I thought you were going to say your grandpa looked like Jimmy Durante.
Oh, no.
My grandpa looks like Jimmy Durante. But like the fucking anglerfish and
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
Do you know that what those fucking things do, like to mate?
No.
Like because they're so few and far between.
And aren't the males like super small too?
Yeah, like
Oh,
they
wait.
attach to the
Yeah,
fucking
okay,
female
yeah,
and
yeah,
become like
yeah.
a symbiotic fucking
Yeah.
life form.
That's
Dude, it's
fucking
fucking so crazy.
It's like not the same. It's not a symbiotic relationship.
No, it becomes a part. Oh fuck! It's an angelfish. God damn it! Fuck those beautiful looking things.
We want the ugly ones.
I want the ugly ones. Anglerfish mating. It's so fucking. Anglerfish mating oatmeal. What the fuck?
What?
Whoops.
Fucking Google.
Oh, let's do that one. Fuck National Geographic. I want the one that's titled "The Horrors of Anglerfish Mating." All right, let's see how long this article is, and I want to read it. Fuck yeah.
A lot of animals have weird fucking things like that, though. Like praying mantis.
Oh, the eating of the fucking
eating-
male and shit.
Yeah. And even, I forget what species of octopus, but there's one species where during mating, the female pretty much kills the male
Yeah.
just by strangling it and stuff like that.
I
That
thought
it
she
just,
ate
like-
its head.
Oh, okay. Where it just like rips off its penis and is like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Do it yourself, you coward. Yeah. Inside joke completed. I've been waiting a long time for that. You don't know how long I've been waiting for that. So this is how the fucking anglerfish, they were puzzled because they weren't finding any males.
Ah,
Right?
I see.
And the reason they hadn't found any males was because they were unrecognized and misclassified as other things. So the male ceratioids, which is what I guess their scientific name is they don't need lures or big mouths and teeth because they don't hunt. And they don't hunt because they have the females. The ceratioid male is merely an appendage of the female and entirely dependent on her for nutrition. In other words, a parasite.
Damn.
When ceratioid males go looking for love, they follow a species-specific pheromone to a female who will often aid their search further by flashing her bioluminescent lure. Once the male finds a suitable mate, he bites into her belly and latches on until his body fuses with hers. Their skin joins together, and so do their blood vessels, which allows the male to take all the nutrients he needs from his host mate's blood. The two fish essentially become one. With his body attached to hers like this, the male doesn't have to trouble himself with things like seeing or swimming or eating like a normal fish. The body parts he doesn't need anymore, eyes, fins, and some internal organs, atrophy, degenerate, and wither away, until he's little more than a lump of flesh hanging from the female, taking food from her and providing sperm whenever she's ready to spawn.
So it's still
Dude.
alive, technically.
It's a fucking, like, it's just a lump. Like, it's basically
Cancer.
a fucking mole. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mole growing up. That's fucking a trip, dude, right? That's so fucking crazy.
Fucking nature, man.
Like, can you imagine becoming just like a fucking appendage on your mate? Like, you marry, you become loving, and when it comes time to that, you fucking sink your teeth into the belly of your wife and fuse with her. And then after so long, your arms fall off, your legs fall off, you become fucking Quado. You know what I mean? And just Quaid. You know what I mean? And and that's it. And then you pump sperm into her. Like basically creating an asexual fucking creature.
I don't know, that sounds like too much commitment, man.
you don't fucking care, because I'm sure one of the things to fucking atrophy and go is the brain.
Oh, I guess
you're
so,
just
right?
like, because you don't need it to function anymore.
God damn.
Your veins and all your shit fuse with hers, like that's nuts. But like, just thinking like this, just the fucking like, just the miracle of that. No, I don't want to say miracle, but like,
just the biology behind
like
it.
imagine like biting into something and from that you fuse to them.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking out there.
Yeah.
Like, and their veins connect.
How does that
And, like,
fucking happen, though?
They basically like
What kind of witchcraft?
it's like an umbilicus. You know what I mean? Like they're becoming an umbilical cord.
It's so...
Fuck, dude. That's crazy, dude.
How does that all happen, though? Like, how do they fuse? Like, is it like something in their genetic makeup that recognizes it and that it happens? Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're saying that the male fish of this species like follow the specific pheromone to the female, and then she helps it along with her little bioluminescent light. But then it's like, suitable mate, and now we're one forever. And that's it. They don't have to mate again, because now you have basically a sperm pump attached to your body that you're now keeping alive. And then when you're ready to spawn, it goes and fertilizes your eggs. Like, holy shit. That's a fucking trip, dude.
that is.
Another thing I like is I'm really into like cephalopods.
Yeah.
I love fucking octopuses.
Yeah.
I love fucking cuttlefish.
Yeah.
I fucking love Cthulhu. All hail Cthulhu. The high priest that shall bring upon the old ones to bring, the destruction of the world and cleanse this.
Yeah.
It's not really a cleansing. It's like he's the high priest that will call when the time is right, will open the gate so that the old ones can fully destroy the universe.
Oh.
Is it raining?
Sounds
that
like
noise?
it might be approaching.
Fully like destroy the universe as we know it, and the survivors that live through that are now in this rule of chaos, and that's what they're thriving on. So that's almost like the world has to become so chaotic that it's like now Cthulhu awakens and is like, the time is right, motherfuckers. The chaos is at its peak. Now I call these old guys down to fully destroy and revel in the chaos that has now become, and now it's just a desolate wasteland of pure, chaotic murder, ego, fucking 7 deadly sins, just fucking wasteland.
Personified.
Yeah, and then that's the new world order. So octopuses are so cool.
Yeah.
That's actually the most tattooed thing I have on my body. Fun fact. I have multiple octopi.
Really?
I have a large one on my arm.
Oh, cool.
I have a blue ring on my foot. And then I have 2 Cthulhu heads on my back.
Oh, cool.
And I have a little Cthulhu symbol on my knuckle with the slogan of Cthulhu lies waiting. It's like the shorthand, like fucking Lovecraft shorthand. Mm-hmm. It's hard to pronounce. It's like FHTAGN. It's like Fadgan. But it's the condensed version of the fucking the poem of like what like Cthulhu lies sleeping in R'lyeh. Like that's where he is, in underwater, living in this fucking temple. But so I fucking love octopuses, like smart fucking creatures. Like they're fucking amazing. The cuttlefish is fucking dope too. And squids are cool, but like squids are like the bastard.
Yeah.
They're not as interesting. Like it's cool that they get all big and shit. Like I like the giant squid aspect. Like that's fucking sweet. But like I'm definitely more octopus, cuttlefish. But the cuttlefish is a smart little motherfucker, dude. Like they mate, right? Like the females are super in control.
Yeah.
And they literally just hang out. Like most, I guess, like most, most species is like the males are super colorful because they have to attract the female, and the females are like, fuck it, whatever, and they just pick. So it's like that with the female cuttlefish. She kind of sits in her little cave or whatever, and fucking males fight over her. And they fucking fight to the death almost, trying to fucking mate with this chick. But they, what's interesting about the species is that it's not about brawn, right? Because what usually happens, the cuttlefish that gets to mate with the female is the smart one, because they have bioluminescence and they can change their colors and they can do all those light shows, but they can also like camouflage and stuff. I think I don't know what the percentage is, but I'll say 9 times out of 10, it's the smart one that while these 2 alpha males are fucking duking it out, he makes himself look like a female. He curls in his tentacles so they're not as long. He changes his color, and he just smooths on by. They don't find him threatening because he's not another male.
Yeah.
And he swoops into the female, shows that he's a male, and mates with her.
Huh.
So the propagation of the species is now it's the smartest one that's getting to mate and
It's
procreate.
the opposite of the idiocracy.
Yeah. It's they're breeding the strength and stupid. I'm gonna beat you up and fuck her. They're breeding that shit out because these guys are like fighting, and this guy's like, I'm just a lady. Don't mind me. I'm a lady. I've never been to a pub. What would a lady order? What's a lady drink? I'll have a packet of crisps. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, it's just like, it's a trip of shit, like fucking nature. Like,
That's pretty, I
like,
didn't
why
know
are we in charge? God damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
These-
fuck, why are we ruled by cephalopods? Like, opposable thumbs?
Opposable thumbs.
Dude, octopuses can fucking open jars and shit. They don't need thumbs. They got fucking 8 crazy tentacles. Much like Hanukkah. 8 crazy nights. They got 8 crazy tentacles.
Maybe
fucking,
after humans run their course, the octopi would be the next one to take.
it's just gravity. They can't come to land, or they just
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Maybe.
They become blobs and like, I'm ineffective. But have you seen those octopus? Like, you've seen them when they fucking run across?
Yeah.
That shit's crazy as shit
man.
too. Like, seeing an octopus like on its tentacles, like running into the water, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is that possible?
They're mimicking us.
See, they're starting. They're sending out fucking testers to like, all right, let's take it slow. Let's fucking check out this land shit. Let's see if we can run. Let's see if
Maybe
we can.
that's what all the ones in the aquariums are for.
Yeah, I love watching
Scoping out.
that. I could fucking watch an octopus for hours. Like, it's so fucking mesmerizing to me. Like, I love when they're active. Like, they're very rarely, like, active, you know what I mean? Like, when you go, it's so crazy to, like, see them. Like, we went, I want to say it was a couple years now, we went to the fucking aquarium here.
Yeah.
And their octopus was, like, fucking putting on a show, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she was going from corner to corner, like, fucking fanning out, like, all her limbs in other directions. Like, she was fucking jumping around, like, fucking crawling on the rock. Like, I took, like, so many fucking pictures. Like, I was just like, like, I could have stayed there all fucking day, like, just watching her fucking, like, cruise around. Like, it's fucking gorgeous, dude. Like, it's so crazy.
I'm kind of
And they're delicious.
Huh?
And they're fucking delicious.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Tastes good.
yeah.
Good eats.
Fuck taco. Octopus. It's so delicious. And they got beaks? Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like,
man.
that's a fucking beak? Like, that's so crazy. Like, what the fuck?
I'm the same way with birds, though. I fucking love birds.
Yeah?
Just the concept of flight. you
And
know?
beaks?
And beaks.
Ooh, beaks.
But also, I think I'm also just drawn to the fact that they evolved from dinosaurs and shit like that. And it's just like,
Did they evolve from dinosaurs?
try to look at Try to watch a minor bird when it walks around. It has a very, like...
I mean, shit, you know what? I mean, I'm just, playing devil's advocate because of fucking who, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
But hollow bones and raptors, and we call them raptors, and the talons and the legs and the fucking shit. But, like, when we were in Australia and we saw the fucking cassowaries, god damn. You cannot fucking look at that thing and be like, nah, it wasn't a dinosaur. You're like, holy shit, it's a fucking dinosaur. Like,
and those things are fucking brutal, too.
dude, so brutal. And you know what? I thought they used those fucking things on their heads. Like, they don't really know. I don't remember. She told, like, I asked, like, did they use them for fucking battle? But it was something else. Like, they don't use them for that. But I forget what it is. Dude, they're fucking crazy. Yeah. Like, we were throwing, like, the kids got to throw fruit, and they were fucking, like, it was, dude, it's like, that was probably the biggest thing I've been next to, other than, like, an emu.
Yeah.
Or, like, an ostrich. Like, but they're way more imposing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, that thing, like, I was, like, I wasn't, like, afraid of it. Like, I've always been, like, a kin with animals.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't have a lot of fear of animals. I mean, I haven't been around, like, a lion and a tiger, like, alone and shit like that, so I can't say how I would react, but I'm very calm around them, and I think that's why they're, like, attracted. Like, I don't... Same with babies. I'm always like, what up, dude? Like, I'm not like, oh, you baby. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm invading your space. Like... I'm just like, what's up, dog? We're chilling. It's cool. You do you, bro.
Yeah.
But that was one that you're looking at and you're like, this fucking thing could kill me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
And those fucking claws, like the talons, they're like, that shit could fuck me up hard. Like, I would not survive an attack from this fucking animal. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. Like,
it hits you in the gut one good time.
Dude, I mean, even if it just fucking pecked you in the fucking face. You know what I mean? Just like, imagine getting that fucking beak into your fucking, like, maybe right into the fucking forehead.
Just like extra weight.
Oh, it's like a counterweight for fucking swinging. It's like a pendulum. Maybe. Fuck, I don't know.
This is one thing I researched a lot of, like, dinosaurs and shit like that. But parasaurs had that fucking, like, thing on their head. It's speculated that they used that in, like, their mating calls and stuff like that.
Oh, like it was like a hollow.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think she fucking said that.
Yeah.
That you saying that kind of fucking
jogged her.
Yeah, jogged a memory. Like it's like an echo.
Yeah, yeah.
She said that they make noises that they can't even hear. That like that's almost like not like an antenna, but like that's like the cochlear. Like it helps them hear that shit. Like they make these crazy fucking noises, and some of them are inaudible to humans, and that thing might be a part of. Oh. That's what it is. Like an echo chamber, maybe, or fucking like. Ooh, ooh. That's a big pigeon. But yeah, I was just talking to my wife about fucking birds the other day, like, because we went to her high school, her college friends were in town, and they had like a big party with their family, and we were invited to hang out, and one of their friends had brought birds. Oh, okay. Like, it was like one of those little, like, lorikeet kind of fucking birds, like a lovebird sized bird, and then they had like an African gray parrot. Oh, I love those. And they were just like one of the smartest parrots. Oh, yeah. Like they're like been known to like they're like the smartest of all the parrots. But I was like, like my dad at a point had a blue and gold macaw. Like he was obsessed. Ever since I could remember about like blue and gold macaws and like hyacinth macaws and all that shit. And sorry, he had a hyacinth. They're the blue and yellow ones. He had a hyacinth macaw. Wait, it's the hyacinth? No, the blue and gold. The hyacinth are the rainbow. Yeah. The rainbow ones. He had a blue and gold, and it was like his dream to have a fucking parrot. Yeah. And he finally got one, and I mean they're basically like having a fucking 3-year-old. They're like that. It's like that intelligence, but it's also like that neediness. Yeah. Which was very unattractive to me. Because, and I was telling my wife that, like, I've always liked birds, and I think they're fucking cool, and I don't know if it's not really been about flight, like, they're just interesting to me, like, these smart little fucking things, like. Fucking colorful, some of them. Yeah, like, they're just fucking beautiful, and it's just, like, cool to see a bird, like, wow, that's fucking cool. I mean, like, you kick a fucking pigeon, but, like, they're just, like, birds, like, or, like, condors, or, like, we went to this wildlife refuge thing in Nevada when we were in Vegas one time, and they had a golden eagle.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
I want to see one of those
Dude,
so bad.
that fucking thing, like, holy shit, dude. Like, it looked like a crouching man. Like, it's that fucking big. Like, their wingspan is as long as me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 6'6".
Yeah.
And that's how long their fucking wingspan was.
Well, you know how they
and,
hunt,
like,
right?
their body is, like, they take fucking bighorn sheep, dude.
Yeah. They just pick them up and
They just
drop 'em.
fucking, like, dude, like, to see, like, it was in a cage, it was in an enclosure and
Yeah.
stuff, but, like, you're looking at this thing and you're, you know, behind this cage looking at this fucking thing that is like, holy shit. Like, that's a big fucking bird, dude. Like, you know, like, especially when you're used to seeing, like, parrots and pigeons and seagulls and, like, you're just like, wow, that's like a fucking, like, that's a fucking majestic goddamn fucking animal, you know, like. And then we went to, like, when we were in Canada and when we were in Alaska, dude, like, I'd never in my life seen a bald eagle, ever.
Yeah.
Right? Only in fucking, like, TV and shit. Or, eagle, bah. It's like pigeons out there, dude. Like, we were on a bus going to the glacier. I believe we were going to the glacier. We were on a tour bus, and we went through this part, and at one point, you know, the tour guide's like, oh, and this is this, and this is this, and if you look up the hill, you can see Sarah Palin's fucking house when she was the governor, blah, 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 and all this shit. And there's just this, like, marshland, like, on either side of the road. And on every fucking stick that was sticking out of that fucking marsh was a fucking bald eagle.
Oh, dope.
Like, there was, like, you know, not, I want to say hundreds, but there was, like, in the high 20 to 30, you know what I mean? Like, there was, I was like, holy shit, there's look at all these fucking bald eagles. They're like, and it was like, oh yeah, bald eagles. You know, like, it was like, whatever, there's some bald eagles, guys. And I was like, that's a lot of fucking bald eagles. And then, like, you see them, like, in the trees sometimes, and you're like, and they're pretty big.
Yeah.
They're a good size fucking bird, you know, and I was just like, holy shit, it's a fucking bald eagle. Like, it's crazy. But just the scale of them, like, it's like, wow, like, fuck, dude, like, and bighorn sheep are big.
Yeah.
And these fucking things heft them into the heavens
And
throw them on the fucking ground. Like, because I've only seen that with, like, seagulls and other seabirds where they pick up fucking oysters and shit and they drop them so the shells crack and they eat them. And it's like, that's what they're doing with large sheep. Like, just
get them open, you
hefting them into the fucking sky. Like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, can you just imagine, like, the life of a fucking sheep are just like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, like, that's, you know, like, what is that cow mutilation? Is that the alien equivalent? They're like, whoa, splat. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're fucking beaming the cow into the sky and then, just letting them drop so they can see the fucking insides. Like, we're thinking they're so sophisticated and highly thinking that's the best they got to look at something. We just heft them up and we drop them. And then when we get humans, we shove shit in their ass.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I remember flipping my shit the first time I saw a bald eagle. It was just one. I wasn't close to it or anything. I just saw it in a tree in Washington. And I thought it was like the most amazing thing ever.
So you said birds in flight. Like, that's what's, is that the main, like, the main draw is for the flight, or?
Flight and also just,
Because, I mean, it's not like, I mean, I guess, in my mind, I'm like, flight, it's fucking science. Like, they're creating lift, and they're fucking, they got feathers and shit, and they fucking fly. Like, is it because you want to fly? Like, and you're, like, envious?
I think it's just, like, just the freedom that it can give you. I guess flight, you know? Go anywhere you fucking want to.
Yeah.
And shit like that. It's just such a shame that it's wasted on
birds.
God,
you're just wasting it lifting bighorn sheep in the air, you fucking Neanderthals.
And I've always just been drawn to them. Because...
Have you ever owned a bird?
Oh, yeah. I've owned multiple. My family was very much like the animal rescue family. and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like all the dogs that I had for hunting were all like rescues and stuff like that.
You got no falcons for hunting?
No, no. But
Scream!
that brings up a good story that I remember. So my little sister had a couple of rabbits, she had 2 rabbits. Those 2 rabbits made and had babies and stuff like that. So they were running around outside, eating grass and stuff like that. And this eel, like a Hawaiian hawk.
Oh, I thought you said eel. I'm like,
No,
what
no,
the fuck?
But it just comes swooping out of the sky and picks up the mom rabbit, right? And I just sound like, whoa, that's so cool. My little sister is crying, right? My little sister's crying, and my mom's just there. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's the circle of life.
Manahana, hana, manahana.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
See,
we've always been around animals, but I think my real love of birds started when I had to do this science project on an animal that we didn't have here in Hawaii
yeah,
and stuff like that. So I chose,
which is a lot.
yeah,
Jesus.
I chose a raven and crow. But this was before
Super
I
smart.
knew
Fuck, those things are smart
that-
as shit.
yeah. But this was before I knew that Hawaii has its own indigenous crow. But it's not.
Does it?
Yeah, it's not in the wild anymore.
Oh,
It's being bred like in captivity and stuff.
for
like
what
that.
reason? Just to keep it alive?
For that and also endangered species and stuff. It's always.
But are they around at all?
They
They release them, or they just breed
release
them?
a clutch of them. Like I want to say like upwards of 100 of them.
It's called a murder.
Sorry.
My favorite.
But they're very prone to avian flu
Oh,
and stuff like that. So within I want to say like
they're
3
a
or 4
sickly
months-
bunch.
Yeah, within like 3 or 4 months, 90% of the crows that they re-released were all dead,
Huh.
just from illness and stuff like that. Which is honestly what a lot of
Like, because they breed them in captivity, they're not equipped, like, with the...
I think it was just
What do they call it? The fucking... God, fuck.
The
Immune system. Like, they don't have...
well, a lot of the endemic species are very susceptible to, I guess, species or like diseases introduced by different birds and stuff like that. Which is why the most prevalent
Like, they
ones-
get out there, they got that stanky, dirty
Yeah.
pigeon puss, and they're just like,
Yeah.
oh, damn, now I got I fucked up. Nobody taught me about bird condoms.
But that's why, like, the most prevalent, or like the highest concentration of endemic birds in Hawaii are at higher elevations. Because those are
Oh.
elevations that, like, mosquitoes and, like, pigeons and stuff.
So they're getting a lot of shit from, like, eating these bugs, too?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because when you think about it, here in Hawaii, like, everything that arrived here naturally, basically, there were no predators to anything. Well, the only predator that other animals had to worry about were like the pueo, which is the Hawaiian owl, the eo, the Hawaiian hawk, and the alalala. Is that enough laws? Which is the crow and stuff like
You're
that.
asking the wrong guy. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la ga ga ga. That fucking
Anyway.
bird?
But yeah, my love for birds, I think it was in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I just researched ravens and stuff and crows and just how smart they are.
Fuck, yeah.
And it's just like, how can, like, that's fucking wild.
And they, like,
You
teach
remember
each other.
faces? Huh?
And they, like, teach each other.
Yeah. And it's just like, how, like, it just, I don't know, something about that just
Yeah. It's a
stuck
trip.
to me. Yeah.
I think that's like, I think that is like, at least for me, in like finding out, you're always like, humans, and then you're like chimpanzees and fucking apes, and they're so smart, and da-da-da, and then you're like, but it's not just that.
not
And so when
that.
you find out like these other quote unquote lesser animals
Yeah.
and like things, like find out that like they also have
High levels of intelligence.
yeah, and you're just like, oh shit, you know, like there's got to be other
Absolutely.
levels of intelligence out there. Like the shit we have on this planet is still coming to light of being like, oh shit, they're intelligent. Like, like you know what I mean? Like, oh man.
What?
Much like, you know, like women and fucking like other cultures were like, oh, they are people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do have intelligence. This whole time we were wrong. Jesus. Slavery over. No.
Yeah.
Which actually, slavery's not over. It's still around.
Yep. Just instead of chains, it's debt.
Well, no, I mean just like actual slavery. Like, not just like the credit card debt. Like literal slavery.
Yeah.
You know, like, and also just in our prison systems, slavery. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Absolutely.
which is still in our Constitution.
Uh-huh.
That slavery is abolished except as a form of punishment. That's literally what it says.
Yep. We even
Cool, man.
Oh.
Hey, no, it's all good. I'm wearing steel-toe boots, bro. Ain't nothing getting through it.
Don't kick me.
Sorry. Hey, tit for tat, bro. Karma.
Yeah, birds, man. I just love the different sounds that they make.
Yeah, they make a lot of sounds.
Yeah. And it's all the same thing.
Had a conversation
They're
with a
all like,
bird. Yeah. Look at me. Fuck me. Please. Please fuck me. Yeah. Look at how pretty I am. Fuck me. Look at me.
Because I remember one time being on LSD at the zoo
Oh, shit.
and just spending like 2-3 hours in that little
In the
bird
fucking
section.
aviary. Oh. That'd have been a trip. Fuck,
It's
dude. Like, talk
talking
about
to them,
trails.
giving them names and shit. So I was like, I could tell you don't like being in here, man. It's like, don't worry.
I'm in here with you, man.
I'll get you out, I promise.
You're sitting there with that little cup of fucking nectar, like, sup from my woo. Well, I think on that note, the 2.5 hours we've been
Jesus
talking.
Christ. Fucking for real.
We've hit the threshold, guys. We've made it. We've recorded our longest episode ever, which is great because I'm having a good time.
Holy shit, yeah.
That's what happens when you're just talking and having a good time with the homies.
Yeah, man.
But this was a long one. As always, stay tuned for the promo for the W Files.
Oh, yeah.
Canadian source for all your weird and what the fuck and paranormal and altogether spooky, as told to you by the lovely Ashley and Shannon. Stay tuned for their promo. As always, you can find us on iTunes and Spotify and Anchor.fm.
Yeah.
You could follow us on Twitter at MouthfulsM. Give us a follow, but more importantly, just listen if you want to. And if you don't want to, then don't listen, I guess, you know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. But if you made it to here, you've been listening, so.
Yeah. Oh, you've been listening hard.
Yeah.
So hard. And so we're going to start our thing now where Mr. Effervescent started it a little while ago, where he's got his farewell.
Yeah.
His farewell.
Yeah.
And so
So until next time, rah, 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 Roma, Roma, ma, gaga, ooh la la. Want your bad romance?
And mine's going to be a long one from the ever popular Tool.
Stinkfist.
I fucking love it. No, so we'll give you quotes. See if you can fucking find out which song these are from too. I mean, the Gaga one's more prevalent, but there is no love and fear. Staring down the hole again. Hands are on my back again. Survival is my only friend. Terrified of what may come. Remember, I will always love you. As I claw your fucking throat away, there will be no other way. It will end no other way.
about witches? How about aliens? Or maybe some messed up government experiments?
If you have a fascination with the weird, wild, wacky, or just downright what the things that go on in this world of ours, then you've come to the right place.
Join us on Tuesdays when we discuss all of this and more on the W-Files podcast.
To listen and find out more, you can pop on over to our website at wfilespodcast.com.
Adieu, W Crew!